What's up, everybody? Where are the names at? That's what I'm talking about. Because I was like, oh. It's your girl, Stephanie, with the White School Podcast. I have my lovely guest, Jamie.
Hey, girl. Hey.
And she is a Christian life coach, and I am a femininity advocate. I love
Yes.
God. I love Jesus. I love the Holy Spirit. I love dressing up. I love looking good. and
All that.
And I just love, especially love helping people and having the conversations that can help us all get better, because we are the body and that's what we're supposed to do for one another. And tonight, we just want to say, black women, you already have the answers.
That's it.
You already have the answers to your problem. You just gotta see it.
Dump him.
Oh, but dump the unsaved. Dump the guy you've been shacking with, and one that's not your husband.
I like the way you said that. You were like, dump the unsaved, because, if he is saved, you need to keep him in the name of Jesus.
Unsaved, you gotta clean up that situationship. And
yeah. Close your legs.
Close those legs. And do right. That's
do right.
That's
by
where
the
we
Lord.
start. Do right, and do right by the Lord, and He's going to direct your path.
Amen. No, for real.
And Jamie, introduce yourself, darling.
Oh, okay. So my name is Jamie, and I am a Christian life coach. I do interviews. I have a podcast called "I Wasn't Taught to Be a Wife" that Stephanie was featured on, and so I interview women. I don't necessarily, what I want to say. How do I say this? No, I do push marriage. I do push marriage, and I do push foundational, fundamental Christian marriage. But I do like to prepare people for being the bridegroom of Christ first before actually being a bride. And so that is a part of my mission. And that's me. That's who I am. So thank you for having me. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be very fun. And I hope that, because I don't go live often, because, I'm still overcoming my little, what do you call it? Butterflies and things like that.
Yeah, you got this though.
And just really knowing that sometimes we do have the answers, but we just lie to ourselves. We make so many excuses. We want to stay a victim, or people to encourage our bad behavior, but it just doesn't get us anywhere. And children of Israel, they walked around 40 years unnecessarily.
Yeah, they sure did. I would say that once a bad behavior is in your DNA or a part of your environment, it is hard to get it out of you. And talking about the children of Israel, that's why they had to die. So that generation had to die. They couldn't even get to go in the promised land because they couldn't get the dysfunction out their DNA. That's a harsh reality, right?
Very harsh reality.
It is. So, and I'm sure that kind of hurt God's heart. But it would be better for them to die than to take that dysfunction into the land of milk and honey, right? And
absolutely, it's the thing is, he can't go against his own word that he established. It's the murmuring and complaining. So many times he had to progressively show him, you tested me. You tested me now. You want to listen to me, or you want to listen to Moses? So it's but they always had that murmuring and the complaining and the ungratefulness. And so it's okay, he said in the beginning, he said, I'm not always going to strive with man. I don't know why we don't think that he is always going to, wink at your little sins and things. He said no, because he has to judge it.
He has to accommodate us, right? Because we're spoiled. But you know what? in a sense, he does.
Mhm.
To an
Mhm.
extent, like a father, he does. He's long suffering with our dysfunction.
Absolutely. That's that grace. Thank
That's
God.
that grace that we take for granted, you know?
Absolutely.
So, what are we
But
starting with
they say
tonight?
if it wasn't for his grace, we'll be
All over, yeah, yeah, but we don't appreciate. Well, we'll be like the children of Israel, where they
Mhm.
were getting in trouble a lot.
Absolutely. And where we're going with this is the title is Black Women already have the answers. It didn't appear like that
Yeah,
already.
no, I was saying who are we starting with? Because we got stuff, we got
We're
clips.
gonna start with Tony Gaskins. And so
Oh, why are we talking?
well, we'll start with Tony Gaskins if you guys want to come on over to YouTube. I'm on streaming on YouTube at the White School Podcast. Um, but even here's good. We're just talking about how now social media we're seeing that these people that are giving us this relationship advice and they got mess in their backyard. They're
Oh,
trying to tell you how to be prosperous in your relationship, but yet all these scandals and just being out of the will of God, you're really causing more harm than helping.
well, yeah. But there's a big market for delusion, right?
Oh,
So,
right.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a big market for people wanting to hear what they want to hear rather than the truth. And I just think that we're making relationships harder
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
than they ought to be. You know, I always like to say if a bum on the street can find love and be happy with no house, no shower, no
Oh,
toothbrush,
God, help me,
you
Jesus.
feel me? They got listen, okay?
Oh, all right, give it to us. Let's go to
Yeah,
the stream.
you can find love too. You know what I'm saying? It's just being honest. We're making things way harder because I have seen some bums in love.
Oh man, not the
Have you
bum.
not? They rock out together. They walk down the road with nothing together. They sleep in that little cardboard box that
Oh,
they made a home together.
oh my God.
It
But
doesn't make
Lord,
it
I guess
right.
I would want to be okay. I don't want to be a homeless bum, but I guess if I had to live with somebody, it would be somebody that would be I would be in the trenches with.
Yeah.
We would be satisfied and content because it's us. We are
Right.
is the prize is us being with one another and that intimacy.
Hmm.
Um, as opposed to having to one up the leverage. Oh, what you gonna do for me? I ain't doing nothing if you don't like.
Yeah. I
None of
think
that in there. Yeah.
right. I think what it is too is we have so much amenities, right? We have so much things that we can fill these voids with,
Right.
right? Think about it like that we're like, oh, I don't have to deal with that person. Like I don't have to deal with that dysfunction. Like I'm not really lacking anything, so I don't need them. So I do think there is a sense of we need each other again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we feel like we don't need each other, but we really do because like I said, I see happy bums. Like they have nothing.
Why do they have to be happy bum?
Because I talk to homeless people, because I be trying to figure
Okay.
out how did you get there, like,
Okay.
and some of them it's a choice, right? But they're
Right.
it's a
Well,
choice.
they do be having their little wisdom nuggets from time to
They
time.
do.
I lie.
That's why I be sitting there when they're in love and stuff. I'll be like, he ain't got no toothbrush. He ain't brushed his teeth, and y'all are in each other's faces, and I just don't get it. Like I want to be able to love like that.
All right, I like that. That's that true love, that unconditional love. Like, all right. It's sort of like the same similar to when we take off our wig and the guys be like, oh my God, but and they
Right.
still love us and things like that. So I can see what you're saying.
You're like, Jamie, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm just observing.
Dad, thank you guys for coming to the live. The black women have the answers, and the basis is that we already know the solutions to our problem, but we just got
Mhm.
to get our ego out the way and
Mm.
forward. Okay.
Yeah,
So my
yeah.
first clip is a clip of Tony Gaskins and Ace Metaphor engaging on Hardly Initiated.
Okay.
Tony Gaskins was the invited guest speaking on his platform and saying how qualified men should speak in relationships, and Ace Metaphor
Mhm.
showed up to the party. All right.
All right. Let's see how this works.
Let's hear it. All right.
Any one person. I just mean like,
Yeah.
do you more so? Because obviously Tony pretty much stands on, if you're not married, like you should not necessarily be putting out this work.
I think that's probably to respectfully, man. I think that is
or you just have
that
to
is
frame the conversation. You have to frame
I
the
think-
conversation. You have to say,
but
this is not relationship advice. This is my dating experience.
brother. I don't really think that. I don't.
This
To
my
your
thing.
point, to your point, and to answer the question before, do I feel like that there are people that are not qualified to give general advice or relationship advice to a large percentage of the population? Absolutely. I think that there's people that are not qualified to my metrics. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with somebody getting up here and saying, this is why I think this or I think that. But what I am saying is for us to not acknowledge the diversity in people and thought processes and ways in which relationships and love can work for many different people, that to me is hard to wrap my head around. That's the thing that I want to say. It's hard for me to wrap my around. It sounds elitist. It sounds like, you know what I'm saying? And then when you said something, Tony, respectfully, when you said you're working for the other side, brother, that's why a lot of people struggle. Because I think you're implying that the other side is the devil, right? Is that what you're implying?
Meaning you're working for the other side of providing confusion. Because if you have 6 voices on a stage and there's 6 different messages, people leave more confused than they came.
All right, we're gonna stop there.
We're stopping right there.
Yep.
All right. So what?
So, all right. We buy our money. I mean, we buy our money. We buy our tickets to go to these, events, thinking that, I don't know, some of us may be going for a good time. Some of us may be going to get some relationship advice or to finally maybe they can answer my relationship question. But he said that people are leaving more confused.
Mhm.
And as of recently, we see that there's more than confusion going on in the audience. There's confusion going on stage.
Right.
So what would you say about that?
I actually completely agree with what he said. I mean, because I even went, so for instance, like if I go on a panel and there's a topic, I'm usually in the background, like I don't feel like I should say anything about this because I'm not involved. I'm not there yet, right? My
Mhm.
opinion doesn't matter, to be honest. Like I'm one of those people where my opinion doesn't matter. We need to like stick to what the word of God says. So now I'll give an example. I could give a story. All right. You
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
So I was in a relationship and we had a platform and the platform was growing, right? And I remember like praying to God, like, hey God, we are out of order and the platform is growing. I don't want us to grow and then be exposed for not living according to your will. So
Right.
if you can, just stop it in its tracks until we get it together, right? Now, a lot of people don't do that. Like we could have kept on going and like been, one of those YouTube couples or whatever, right? And then you see that the YouTube couples break up because he ends up cheating, or there's so many women coming towards him now because they see him treating me right on social media, but he wasn't, or I wasn't prepped for the demons that come after you when they see you living a happy life on social media, right? And so that's like a lot of things, because if you look at it with I don't want to say the name because I don't know what you're going to trigger, or if anybody is like clicking and trying to, get people in trouble for allegedly speaking their name, but he was associated with Derek Jackson, right? And we know that scandal was very big. I mean, I followed Derek and never knew he was married until the scandal happened, right? And so he's giving this relationship advice. And as another thing about these men that are giving the relationship advice is they're giving advice based on their perspective and their abuse pattern. They are actually telling on themselves. And we as women are agreeing with them because there's a vast majority of men who operate like that. It doesn't even matter if the man is of a different race. A lot of them act demonic. They do. They act demonic. They because they know that we women love words. If we didn't love words and we didn't believe words, we wouldn't have fell for it in the Garden of Eden.
That is true. That is true.
And we like to seem like we're wise. So you'll hear a man say certain things that sounds good, and then you'll hear us women repeat it like it's knowledge that is more makes us more wise to say that. And because we look for that, right? We want to be wise. These men know how to play on that. And so I do agree with Tony when he says if a man is not living the life of a husband, because that's a hard life.
Oh yeah.
Right? Especially in the public eye, right? If they're not living the life of a husband, then I don't believe that they should be giving advice. If their wife is not happy, if they're not able to show a happy woman, right? And that they're able to take care of their household, you can't help me. You shouldn't even try to help me. You need to be making sure your house is in order. So yeah. I agree. I fully agree. Because power is an interesting thing. You don't know somebody until they have power and access. You know what I'm saying? You don't know them until you.
Absolutely. And you know what that is a foundational thing that that destroys nations and peoples and cultures too. That's the kind of the foundation bricks of racism.
Yeah.
I literally can share this land with you, or I can just take you out.
Power and access.
But why unnecessary? The
right.
greed. And then, like you said, the power, the greed, and the unsatisfactory. Now it's insatiable, and then it all comes tumbling down, of course. But just that, and it really does take people that are living the life to see the true transformation. Because I'm like, thousands of people. I went to, my coach is Mr. Let Go, my YouTube coach, because
is he really?
Yes. Sometimes I agree with him. I'm like, yo, bro, this is not it.
I'm arguing with him on Instagram.
Yeah, he's pretty insightful, but some of the stuff is like, So, but for what he does, he's good at what he does as far as content creation, and saying like, hey guys, I'm not lazy, you guys are lazy. So he's always on us really hard. And he said, you should come down to Atlanta, see how a show is ran. You should see, the tonight's conversation. So if you ever wanted to produce a event one day for your following, you would know how it goes. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I'm getting down there, and like he said, there's nothing but confusion. Now, like I said, well, I guess people really wanted to come here to be tickled and have a good time, because I'm not sure if anybody's really gonna take anything away from it. It's just sort of like when people say you went to church today, they weren't really listening. They're like, what did the preacher talk about today? Oh, I don't know. So it's sort of like that same vibe, because it was a Sunday. I went down. I don't know if I went to church or not, but I probably did go to church. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm sitting in the second row, and then they're playing the DJs dropping the beat. Then I see all the girls
Yeah.
shaking
It's
their bum
just like church,
bum.
right? They hype you up. They get the songs going. You in
Yeah.
your feelings, right? Right.
Okay.
Emotionalism.
Yep. And so I seen the girls, they were dancing with each other, hitting each other on the tail. I was like, oh my God. I said, okay, this is that type of event. And then they had the nerve to put on some Kurt Franklin.
Confusion.
He said, there's too much demon activity going on. And then they put on Kurt Franklin. So even in that validates the confused message that you can dabble over here, then run back over here to get that grace.
Yeah.
And that's not good. And if we're gonna fix anything, it only just lends to like the double-mindedness and the wavering in your stance. Like you said, you cannot help me because you're in the same situation that I am in.
Right.
So would you like me to continue with the clip?
Yeah, let's go. Because it gets better. Because he gets better. Now here's the thing. I have tonight's conversation cards. I would like to say that. Like,
okay,
I have a deck. And they actually have great questions. I want to say that. Great questions. We utilize the questions. I got to know my significant other better, really. So I can't say that the conversational cards did not open up dialogue that it should have, and probably would have never opened up if we didn't have them.
Yes.
But if you now see that he didn't live the life that he was telling us to live, it does invalidate everything, right? It makes you second guess and now be like, do those cards really help? Or should those cards only be used in a marriage? You see what I'm saying? Or should they be used in dating so that you can see if that person even matches with you for marriage? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think in that case, yes, because one thing that's going to remain the same is the cards in those questions. That person can dwindle up and down, whatever, but those questions are going to be like, I still need to know, what are your values?
Right.
What are your opinion about children and finance? Those are always going to remain important questions that we need, because some people, they don't know how to ask the right questions. They don't know how to vet.
Right.
So this does give a little bit of extra help in that way. If you like, you have cold feet or ice as an icebreaker. I mean, if you progress further in this interest of this person, yes, and as long as they ain't saying like, so do you want to get in the bed on the first night?
No,
do that.
No, they don't ask questions like that. They literally ask legitimate questions. If I was in my building, I would just pull it because it's sitting on my desk. But next time we'll talk about it, and I'll pull this back.
People can stay. You start off with good intentions, and then things go. So that's where those cards were. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the power or whatever happens with that, then things starts getting a little muddy. But we can continue with the clip.
Okay.
All right, let me get over here.
And if the people who we are seeing by the millions are not saying anything worthwhile, but it's a meaningless back and forth conversation that does not bring a solution, that does not help us build families, that does not help us better raise children, help us climb the ladder as a people, as a group who are struggling economically, struggling relationally, struggling in every way. When we provide conversations that only bring confusion and don't bring clarity,
it don't seem like,
I mean by you working
it
for
don't seem, it don't seem like it really don't seem like, in my opinion, you actually pay much attention to what we got going on over here, brother. And that's respectfully. I'm respectfully saying that. I'm respectfully saying, when you can use the adjectives you want to use, and then you don't empty messages. You can use all these adjectives, but just because you're making these blanket statements, that's why I said it's dangerous. It's dangerous when you're making blanket statements without having all the factual information.
Statement. It's not a blanket.
It is a blanket statement. You're making blanket statements, and you're putting people's names in it. You
I'm
putting
living
people's
this.
names in it.
I'm living this as a husband and a
Your
father,
truth
which is successful for our
for you.
and for our community. It's not just for me. Principles are principles. So,
Right,
so
but your principle, you're not the only person with principles.
you're promoting casual sex. You're promoting hookup culture. And then you say you bring it. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You having a conversation. You watching me online. You say you appreciate my message. Why haven't you called me to your conversation?
You know what? Why he doing all that? Look, why he doing all that? Now listen, why he doing? Look, he doing all that.
You say you bringing all the voices. You say you bringing all the voices.
Whoa! You doing all that? You doing all that?
How you not gonna call somebody who got 3.5 million people online and have been in the trenches since 2007, but you bringing all the sides? You ain't bringing all the sides. You bringing the side that you want to bring, and then you trying to take me to task for my words, and you trying to hold me for every word, but you didn't catch that you just call what you doing a play. I call what I do purpose.
Let's pause it.
So they say if you let somebody talk long enough, they tell on themselves.
Absolutely.
He said what they were really doing, which was a play. I don't think that we wanted to believe that.
Yeah.
Right? But he told on himself.
Yes, he did. And like it and it's like it's like the lukewarmness, even though he don't follow, it looks like he doesn't follow like the Bible or biblical principles, like he said.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you invite everything in, that's confusion right there. And as he said, you got all these people buy all these tickets. The community should have been start changing. We should be seeing testimonials left and right. We got together. I got married, or my family's back together. And it's like, it's not happening. And I'm like, this is not good.
I'm starting to realize, like, people say that they want a relationship, but I don't think that they just want companionship for the moment. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there's no way that you can run across that many people, men and women, right, and not find somebody to love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if a bum on the street I'm sorry, I had to say that one more time. Okay.
Yeah, I have a guest on here. It's called Navigate to the Altar. Why haven't we navigated to the altar from your content? If you're such a relationship guru, why haven't we elevated Mr. Metaphor? Like, for real, because as he said, you have all these people here. It's fragmented. Some people, they may believe in the sage and new age, and like, how can we have one voice?
Right. And that's where
it's bad. It's so bad.
They're not pushing. If you push the truth, you have to be held by that truth. And nobody wants to be that disciplined. Now, they're disciplined enough to, make money. They're disciplined enough to have muscles, but they're not disciplined enough to close their legs and to pick wisely.
Right.
And if you can't control your loins, then you really have no control. Regardless, you really don't have control.
That I'm gonna tell you, that loin thing, that is a hard thing, because I am a very passionate person. I am single, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, help me. And I'm like, man, I said, you got to get me married, because this ain't the life. But it's like giving that up to him and submitting that part of yourself and presenting yourself in that manner. He can honor that. He can trust you. He said, well, the first time I do bless her with a man, she ain't gonna leave me and get dickmatized and all that stuff, because he is watching us in our walk with him,
right,
to prove us,
right, make people an idol.
Ready,
right. But I think that the reason why this was successful is because they did make people their idols. They made the people's that were on the panels and their advice an idol to stay in bondage.
Absolutely.
Right. So each person that would buy a ticket found a person that related to what they believe to be true, to be the reality. Now, a lot of people don't live the life that Tony Gaskins promotes.
Absolutely. Very few. And the thing is, it's hard. It's not hard, but it says that
No, it's hard.
you can
No, it's hard.
find
You
a wife. You know, it's like it's a rare thing. It's not a lot of
it's
people
hard.
that
Say
live
it
that
one
narrow life. Yeah.
You were right. The first when you said it's hard, you said no, it's not. No, it's hard. It's when
It is
when
hard.
you do, it's hard. It's hard because we have so many options now.
Well, we think we do.
Well, I mean, yeah, because everybody. So okay, let's talk about it. You know, I was thinking the other day when everybody's like, "I'm wifey material."
Mm-hmm.
You know, because every female thinks that she is wifey material. But that's delusional. Like you're delusional.
Maybe okay. I think okay. We can be wifey material, right? But you can be the material, right? Everybody can just be, as we say, a blank canvas. I can be that material, but can you be crafted and sewn into a beautiful garment? Can you be crafted
that was
and
really poetic,
sewn
friend.
into that wedding dress?
Yeah, but
Can it form into that?
That was really poetic. Like you know that.
Jesus gave me that one. Look, tell me.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but that was real deep right there. Write that down.
This is my life. This is my life. I'm a seamstress. I went to school for fashion design.
Oh.
And
right.
We all have the potential. That's why I'm an advocate for femininity. That's where it starts. Because if you don't know your identity, it's like you don't have you can't build. You can't say, you can claim, okay, yeah, but this could be, you don't know what this is. This could be silk. This could be cotton. This could be polyester. It may be flame retardant, may not be.
It could be a mix now. It could be a mix.
Could be a mix. So it's like you got to know the contents of it, and can I work with it, and can it be fashioned and stand the test of time? You know, because it's so simple. Like God, He makes everything poetic and make everything relate, but we have to open ourselves up to it and submit to Him and His will and His identity for what He wants us to emulate in the earth.
Do you believe that everybody is wifey material?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you train up a child in the way they should go, they know. And that's where you're really supposed to start. So how come other cultures are very successful in this?
But we don't raise up our children to be wives and husbands.
Right. So we all it's there. Everything is there. Like you said, we already have the answers. The answer is there. We just got to go find it.
Okay, so you're saying that we have to rewire the thinking. So it's ability for a man to find a wife. They can find a wife. They have to be willing to work with that wife.
First of all, she got to present herself that way. She has to present herself that way. And
so how does that happen though? If we have people, wait, hold on. This is gonna be good because I just thought about this. If we have people like tonight's conversation, giving advice the way that they're giving, how can we develop women to be cultivated to be wives if they are being told that they're okay the way they are, or encouraged in the behavior that they are doing? And obviously it's popular. How do we change that?
Girl, woo. that one's a tough one. It's like that one's a tough one. You just have to keep delivering the message.
Right.
Just like Tony Gaskins. It's like they're going back and forth. You're having a discourse, and the people have to decipher the truth. But if your sin makes you feel comfortable, God doesn't twist your arm. He don't twist your arm about nothing. He says, here's the facts. I love you. I died for you. I did it first. Know that it's here. Know that I love you. Okay, cool.
Right.
And then you say, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and that he gave his only begotten Son, that I can believe and I can be saved. Okay, now I believe it. With the heart, man believes. So there's steps I got to take because he already did what he needed to do. So if that man's already like, I am ready to just go and get my wife, but if he can't find a good thing, it's like, oof. Like, it's just no hope. That lady has to change. She has to say, I accept that assignment, or what I've been doing is wrong, or what I see what's happening isn't getting me the results that I'm looking for. So who else has the answer? Who else is living the right way? You're going to have to go to people that are living that life to get the answer. But that's like, when people kind of just have messed up in their lives, but it really starts as children. Because when we go into therapy, all the things that we've experienced stem from our childhood.
Right.
And we have to fix that part. Really.
So
at this point.
So technically, so we have,
it's so muddy.
What you're saying, we have the fundamental components to be good husbands and wives. We have to be cultivated to be those things, though. And so if the cultivation is not done at a young age, right? How do we, the thing is, though, so people have to want to change, right? They have to have a desire to be better.
Right. Because as adults, like as children, your emulation and you're training a lot. When you're an adult, you're pretty much set in your ways, but you have to be willing to unlearn what you've seen, even if it was negativity. If you thought, get your own plate, Rick, if that's what you saw and that's what you implement, and you want to be a wife, and I say, hey, that's not proper behavior.
Right.
So correct you on that. You're gonna buck against it or say, okay, you have to surrender that. So it's just at this point in our adult lives, these are actionable, intentional choices we have to make, just as we're trying to find what correct school to go to, just like we're trying to find the right hair dryer to blow dry our natural hair. Like, we have to put everything through the specs that is going to help us, the tools that are going to help us get to the results that we want, and talk to the right people. Yeah.
So I guess, so I guess that's when we see that God is exposing, I would say, false prophets, because a prophet is somebody that brings a message, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the Bible. It's a message. So a false prophet could be somebody bringing an inappropriate message that is actually sending people to doom or more demise than to actually doing what we need to do, which is create nuclear families again.
Absolutely. And you're never going to create a nuclear family if you only value the hookup, if you don't value that woman's body and respect it. You're like, wow, I can't do that. As opposed to your lustful self, like, I'm getting them skins tonight and I'm gone. Go city. Like, all right, girl, here's your Uber. Time to go. Like we can't think like that, because like if we're constantly thinking that we're disposable and that we're not valuable to one another, we'll never get anywhere. And then the kids be like, nobody cares about me. My mom never did this. She was always at the club. And it's like,
I think people need to just reset, right? And then like really just unlearn and be willing to try something different.
Absolutely.
Because like people are just getting a bunch of advice and a bunch of like this, and I believe it's overwhelming.
Do you mean try something different or try something that's always been there?
Oh, well, the word of God is the bomb. You feel me? I mean, like, I just feel like people miss out on how simple life could be. You know what I'm saying? That's what, if, again, if a bum on the street. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it because it's still biblical too. They understand something that we don't.
Absolutely.
That their ego is out of the way, right? Everything, their selfishness is out of the way. They serve each other. This is people that don't got nothing. So they move differently. They move in a spirit of gratitude because they know that they don't have anything to give somebody. So it's genuine. It's more genuine than what we have. Because what can I get from you besides your genuine compliments, your love, your genuine hugs, those moments of embrace, because we need that. It's called
sharing a burrito.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, just those little things that people don't think were valuable are just like the best part of being with somebody, or the best part of cultivating that servitude, right?
Absolutely. And I was saying on a TikTok live the other day, I said I think we need a little bit of opposition that's going to drive us together, because I know that there's some men, what I appreciate from some men in these spaces, they're really holding each other accountable, and they're becoming better men. They're saying like, hey man, focus on your money, focus on that. So at least if he's together, he feels more secure, he feels more confident that he can take care of himself for the time being. And if he feels, confident and safe enough to invite not a crazy female, but a nice wife into his life, that is going to be a good investment for his time and attention. So I admire that the men are. It seems like it's easier for the men to snap it together than the females.
Well, they're the leaders.
Absolutely.
Right. So, okay. So there's something Tony said. Tony said that you're playing a play, like you're playing, but I'm living a purpose. Right. And I think what it is that men aren't focused on trying to find out God's purpose for their lives. That's why you don't know what type of woman to pick. You feel like you have options, but there's really only a very few options that you would have, or even one option that God has for you to fulfill the purpose that he has created you for on this earth.
Right.
But a lot of men find purpose in what you said was like get their money right, but they still don't know what type of wife to pick, because the money that they might be getting right might not even be the purpose that God has for them. They could just be working a job. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the women, if you get a woman and you don't know your purpose, how can she help you with anything?
I guess so.
Yeah, because I think what women's other denial is that we like to help.
Yeah, we definitely do. We find ourselves helping.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But our help with a man that doesn't have a purpose looks like we're trying to fix him. But if our man
build him up.
Yeah. So, but if our man has a purpose and has the foundation built already for the purpose, we could come in and help meet you with that destination and bring the favor of the Lord with us, right? Because it says that a man that finds a wife obtains favor from the Lord. So there's something that comes with us that adds to the foundation that you have built with that purpose.
Right. And men should, that shows signs of stability, and then at least if the project is, I don't know, 70% done, I don't know, I could come in, but I'm not gonna be, trying to take over anything. I'm gonna, be here on the side, give a suggestion if you want to ask me. Okay, yeah, maybe you should paint that wall black. Or I don't know, something small. Nothing.
You're nice. I'm gonna tell you what I want, because I know exactly what I want.
Okay.
I need you to know your purpose, because I have lots of talents, and I'm not gonna waste my talents, because that's what God gave me. So I need to be able to utilize these talents with your purpose, so we can bear fruit in Jesus' name. You see what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
hey, I want big fruit too. You get what I'm saying? I want
But it is true. They said the land of milk and honey. They said that the fruit was as big as people's head.
that's all I'm saying.
Grapes.
So
Okay.
right.
Mhm.
So I just like I don't want to diminish my husband, but I also don't want him to diminish me either. Right.
Absolutely.
But
I
I
like
know that
somebody
there's
said
a
purpose mate instead of a partner.
yes.
Don't say partner, say your purpose mate. That
There you go.
gives you so much more meaning of how you guys can add value to
Exactly.
one another instead of saying, oh, a high value man, but well, you bring value too, you know, sis.
Right.
You know, he values you too. It's supposed to be a
Right.
constant swirling of blessing
Yeah.
and
Of
fruitful
just
and multiply.
greatness.
It's
Exactly. Like for instance, you're a seamstress, right? That is
Mhm.
like people don't understand that how meticulous, how amazing it is for seamstress. Like I've been actually stuck watching this girl make dresses for weeks. You know, my mom's like, "Why do you keep watching those videos?" Because it's so intriguing. Like I know I'll never be on a level of that, but what I've noticed too is the best seamstresses that I have seen have all been Black women. Okay, like
Mm.
phenomenal dressmakers, phenomenal just. And so for you to say that, like, and you pulled out your stuff, that means your husband, his suits are going to be phenomenal. He is going to be dressed to the no, seriously, no, right? Which is such a value, and he
Yeah,
doesn't have to go outside the house to get it.
right.
You have a personalized,
Mhm.
custom dressmaker in your home.
Yep,
What are you
and you
talking about?
your drapes and everything else.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dress
So
the
I'm saying,
children
like,
and the cats. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just
yeah, everybody,
everybody.
everybody. You
And it's
no,
beautiful. And that's what the Proverbs 31 woman did. She set her hands to the spindle. She made things in the house. She was a merchant. She sold the stuff in the marketplace. Like she was moving and grooving. But today's independent woman, she has all these things, but she's keeping it to herself. And all that is supposed to be for her building
her
with the
husband.
family and the legacy.
What I think though is
Mhm.
so this is a good conversation because what I think is I remember saying this to somebody. I was like, women don't really want to work outside the home. Okay.
Yeah,
They
I don't.
work outside the home because they have these talents and the husband isn't utilizing them. And this
Mhm.
is real. And so she goes out and finds a job that utilizes her talents and she makes somebody else's husband great. That's how she becomes the work wife. Let's be real. Okay. No, this is a good conversation. Let's talk about it. Okay. Let's talk.
Hiding. No,
So if
but
a
it's
man,
true.
it's true because our men are not taught
The
that
work
this.
wife. You are. Ooh, girl, you just be hitting things. I'm like,
I've been a couple men's work wife. Do you hear me? I've been a couple men's work wife, not on purpose, but because I was helping them fulfill their purpose.
mm,
Right? But
yeah.
see, their wife at home was just as talented, but he wasn't taught to value her talent. He wanted to let her just do whatever she wanted to do, not realizing that that was his helpmeet and it was her job to be what I was doing. And that creates contention and confusion in the home. There never should be a work wife. Your wife is the wife. Your wife is the helpmeet. Your wife is the business partner. Your wife is the friend. Because if she can go outside the home and do it for somebody else, she definitely could do it inside the home if you included her.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so
And like
now,
you do need business. You need some we do need to grow. We have to play catch up at this point. We do need a business in our home. Do you
Mhm.
think the dynamic, okay, what do you think about the dynamic of the wife having a business as opposed to the husband having a business? Or like is there any confusion with that, or
I think
the
that
husband works with her, or should the husband have something going on, or they got something going on and they just have these generated assets that they run and generate together?
I honestly believe that if it's done right, right? Like God like God is in the midst of it. She may end up having her own thing because you have to have something separate. That's just something that you invest in, right? But it's still, what I notice is that it still contributes to the greater good of the home.
Yeah.
But if that side thing is taken away from the core business of the functionality of your home, then it's not of God, because God specifically says in your leadership that your home is your first ministry.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
And so I think that if the side business that she is doing takes her away from the fundamental part of her home, then it is selfish. Now you're being selfish.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, because I, like, even with my sewing and everything, you get caught up and you're like, oh man, I'm too tired. So like you said, that's time you're supposed to be spent with your kids or children. You take them out, or you're supposed to read to them. You don't make time. Just like before we came on live, you said, I need to take time for my son. If we don't know how to delegate, like what's said so much is that the women that do go after their careers, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to turn it off when it comes to when you come home. And
right.
The lack there, that starts the contention, and you're absolutely right.
I could give a story with that, because so I'm a workaholic, right? And so in my situation that I was in, like I was just always working, you know, and I remember like them sitting down in front of me and I'm like this. And I look up and I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you just gonna always work? And that hit me, and I was like, am I being avoidant? Because sometimes as women, we could do this. If we don't want to be too engulfed in the person we're with, we can have avoidant attachment. So we can work and we can say we're so busy, but really it is that we are not looking for that intimacy.
That's not good.
That's not good. But if you look at it, a lot of women are doing that. So they hold, like you said, they hold on to their work.
But that's okay. Well, we have to call that out. That's manipulation, and that's witchcraft.
Yeah.
You guys have to start identifying what certain things that you're doing, because you don't even know you're working against your marriage in another way.
Yeah.
Kind of blaming everything else, but now no. You opening up that can of worms, and you're inviting in that fruit, and you're biting it, and now manipulating him and the marriage, and now it's turned into a sexless marriage. Now you ain't having sex, wherever we at with him.
Yeah.
And then now he goes cheating out. Oh, he's a dog. All men are dog. No, you done did something too.
Yeah. It's avoidant. I would call it avoidant attachment, because they utilize their work, or you know what I'm saying, as a way to say I'm busy too. Well, it's a harsh reality, but it's the truth. Right?
So what is the answer to, as we said,
you
already have the answer. What is the answer to?
The answer is you have to, like the nuclear family, your family has to come first. You have to be able to trust the man that you said that you married.
Amen.
You know, and I think a lot of times women don't trust their choice of a man that they married.
Amen.
But they've also been told by other women, older women, that said, you need to keep your career. You need to have your own bank account. You need to blah, 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 because they got hurt or they were stuck in situations, right, that were not healthy, but they are also not taught to make it healthy either.
Absolutely. You can definitely make your situation healthier.
Right. So these, you know, you have to choose your husband. You have to choose your marriage. You said from death do us part, you know, through all sickness and health and all those things. You have to choose the covenant that you said you wanted.
And that just lets you know how we don't value it in the way it's supposed to be, or we don't know what it is. We probably don't even know what it is. We probably shouldn't even touch it.
We don't know what it is.
We shouldn't even touch it because we need a whole overhaul on our mindset of what a covenant is, what choosing a mate is, what masculinity, what a male looks like, what the kingdom identity looks like, as opposed to the world, you know, and these people that lie to us and deceive us, even in the houses too, and lying and deceiving. We have to know how to decipher and discern what the real is from the fake. We want a man, not a male, because it can look like a man, and then you're going through the woo. And it's like, I didn't sign up for this, but it's kind of too late. And if he ain't doing nothing to you and not disrespecting you or things like that, that's the covenant. Like you said, that's the covenant you chose. And you're not supposed to just leave because, you know, you didn't choose right. But
you got another clip that I think leads right into what we're going to talk about with the church and covenant.
Oh, not yet. We got one more, Tony, and then we're gonna go to 6 to God.
I was gonna say that is perfect to lead to that, like when we talk about covenant, because that. So good, so good.
The Lord, and I know the Lord is real, and
we're too big still.
All, and you might lose your life if you keep playing with God. You've never sat with the Lord and talked to the Lord and felt the true presence of the Lord. That's why you don't believe in the Lord. And that's why you keep fornicating while you talking about you a Christian. That's why you won't allow the Holy Spirit to inhabit your life and to renew you and to consecrate you and to change you. You do not know God, and you do not love God, and you do not truly believe in God, nor do you fear God, or you will be married. You will shut your mouth. You will find your wife. You will stop holding her to pornographic standards. You will see the God in her and on her, and you will marry her, and you will advance the kingdom living like a man of God.
Praise
and
God.
If you can't do that, you will sit your sorry, stupid behind down and shut up. And get out your feelings. Stop crying about another man confronting you. Stop hollering about somebody judging you when you keep choosing to do the same stuff over and over and over again. And keep wanting to sit there, play the victim. You know, these Christians, they just want to judge you. They want to call you names and all of that. Yeah, the Lord might convict me for calling you stupid. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to repent for it. And I choose another word. But I can't, based on the dictionary, I can't think of another word.
Yeah, because you're stupid.
What y'all is doing is stupid, irresponsible, and immature. And you're playing in people's face. And I'm trying to tell you. Because that's what I told the man, Kevin Samuels. Because he started telling Christian women, don't save yourself.
Pause that.
Don't think that you could date a man and not have to sleep with him.
Wait, he did. Did you know that Tony? You have to look this up. Tony did a video about Kevin, and Kevin went live and was telling Christian women that they if they had already had sex that they could not, withhold sex from man. Did you know that?
I started hearing him say
yes,
yeah.
So Tony rebuked him, and if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't too much longer that news didn't come through. And I thought that was insane because I remember being on Tony's live, and then I remember the late Samuels being on that live, and then I remember it was not even a week later that happened. And that's the first time I looked at Tony like, maybe when you shouldn't rebuke. I'm like, I know that's his job to rebuke people, but like, you got to be careful because
how can you be careful? You know what? Like, the thing is, we can't get mad at God for being God, because there's just certain people that he has his hand upon and his favor on, and you can't do nothing about it. Even with Moses, they was like his sister was like, he could talk to us too. God
That's
could talk
true.
to us. He struck her with that leprosy.
Yeah, that's true.
And he
That's
had to
true.
pray it off her. And Aaron was like, oh no. He's like, God, he was like, I'm done. Go ahead, say something else, because
Right.
he had to let her know.
Because
right
I
thing.
remember that's true. Tony said, and he gave him a warning. He said, you need to be careful. You need to tone it down. You need to stop sowing confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I do remember him toning it down for a little bit, but then it's like, I don't know what happened. But it's kind of like Pharaoh's heart was hardened, right? And he just decided to go in. I hate it, but with this new situation where he rebuked the tonight's conversation person, and then a couple of months later, now we see that there was so much going on behind the scenes.
But you know what? Sometimes I can do, like, this has happened to me in my personal life, right? Like God, like he said, he that touches, us, right? It's like touching the apple of his eye. He's like, I have to get this thing out. So okay, he don't play. And my dad is a man of God. He is a pastor, but he's a prophet too. But he just loved God with all his heart, mind, and soul. All that titles don't matter. He loves God.
Lord.
God loves him. I'm telling you, one night my dad made me so upset. He made me so upset. I tried to cuss. He made me, because he was yelling at my brother, but it wasn't even my brother's fault. And at that point, I was like, this dude is crazy. And then my mouth formulated to talk. And as I was talking, mute. No, that's what happened. No, my voice went like this. Nothing. I said, oh.
Yeah, because you were out of order.
I was out of order. Then I went home that night. I said, oh, I can't say it out my mouth. I started writing it down. My chest started hurt. I said, no, hold on. No. I said, see, and it happened too instantaneously, because the thing is, sometimes we say things in our ego, in our pride against him. And Paul, he thought he was doing the work of the Lord until Jesus had to come meet him too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then he was blind after the fact. So we have to really careful, like when God, he's exposing everything just to let us know that the time is what it is, and he's trying to redeem people. If you're getting confusion and then keeping them in sin, he has to judge them in that. And a lot of people will have to go to hell unnecessarily when we can save them and turn them in the right way.
Right.
So with the truth.
But I think that what happens is, like, people, so like that happened, and then here came another person trying to fulfill those shoes.
Derrick Jackson, he got blown up.
But there in the Derrick Jackson, then we had Ace, right? And so there's always somebody coming to try and fill this false prophet shoes.
Absolutely.
But I think the community needs to come together and say, we don't want to hear y'all anymore. So it's kind of like the community has to say no more to these type of people.
Well, we can't support it with our money.
Right.
That's the number one support, with our dollars
and our views, though, and our subscribes. Like,
it's like, repent, like Nineveh. Okay, fine. You got all this crazy debauchery going on in your city, and you serving this other guy, and we got our Tony. He's like, man, I don't want to go over there, but he's going over there to deliver that message. So, and the whole city repented. So you have a chance to turn that whole thing around. First of all, turn your life around individually, and then it's gonna flow. It always flows down from
the top down.
It's gonna flow, and all those people can transform. And sorry. So all those people can transform. That's why he's attacking that place so much, because the hearts of the people kind of are they're searching. A lot of people are broken. A lot of people are just going anywhere to find an answer.
They're tired, right? I mean, but then these people, like I think they, are aesthetically pleasing, right? And so people, just because of the way they look, want to listen to them. And that's another thing too, is we've got to stop looking at people's outside appearance and listen to what they're actually saying and watch their lifestyle, right? Like we have to really watch their lifestyle. And if you can't, then don't follow them. You better pick your Bible up, because that's a
but the thing is, we're entertained because it's an entertainment factor. It's not fun, it's not fun to say, don't shack up. It's not fun to say close your legs, or it's not. People don't want to hear that, and
right.
And
so, okay, what did you want to finish, Tony? Because I know he said more. I didn't.
And then we could switch to 6.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that one. I seen it come up, but I didn't watch it because I was
this is it right here. This is the one where he's like,
I've been busy watching Kita's 500 episodes.
You bad now, but
I mean, I've been in her comments. I mean, she go from 0 to 1,000 in like real quick. You feel me? And I had to tell her.
I wish I just had a little bit of the energy of
Kita. It's so funny. I was like, my God. Like the last one she did, I said, girl, like, wow.
I'm trying to be good. I don't want to give it to the Kita life, but I do admire her energy.
What I did,
even her energy like that, it would be so good for the kingdom. But right now, she's just
so catch this. In that last thing that she exposed, she said, if you pay me the money, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take care of the people that you screwed over. Now, this is a recording. This is a conversation that she had with him, trying to settle before she went public. So for somebody to have that mindset, to go ahead and be like, well, since you won't help the people that you messed over, whatever you give me, I'm going to make sure that they get some cut from me. They might not know how much I get from you, but they're going to get something from me. Like, that's a good heart. She got a good heart. She may be going off on everybody right now, but she, like, that's not a normal.
Yeah, the normal people won't help you. Like, usually sometimes, like, the loud, crazy, aggressive, they really do be having a big heart. My dad, he tough, but he will give you the shirt off. And I do admire that. But so that's why, I'll be like, sometimes things just do need to go get exposed, because if you got people signing NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, they can't speak on anything, and look at how Kanye got out of that contract by saying something like, oh, we released. He said, finally, I was waiting to get out of that strategically. So it's like, now I can really be who I want to be, or now I'm free and I don't have to be bound within it. But I mean, she's still changed anyway. But I mean, maybe that was affecting her life. Maybe she can now do something different.
Yeah, did you see where she showed the bald spot she had for working for Mojo Jojo? Is that what she call him?
Yeah. Yeah, the stress. We do what we do. Like you said, we go to work, we perform, and we just do it to make do. And she said that she was working like 2 jobs. Like, I was like, this lady's cray-cray. But maybe that was attributed to the surety, the unsurety of his character as a man, if hearing all those stories. But that all contributes to what's being spewed into our culture and our dating. And this is supposed to be a conversation dating thing, and if this is just seeping out into the people's hearts and minds and shaping,
well, we could see what it's doing, because that balloon thing of that major that's like catching waves, look at how shallow people are. People popping balloons for things that don't make sense. His pants. I was like, whose pants?
But he said he's an author. No. I'm saying, like, pop the balloon. Like, they'll say, I popped the balloon because of his pants. I'm like, But he just said he was an electrical engineer.
But listen, some of them pants was tight though. Some of them pants was
But
tight.
here's what I tell you, and I was telling my mom today: you can go shopping with that man. Sometimes they don't have a sense of style. You can help them. You can say, "Hey, this looks good on you, baby," and you guys can be take that little moment to bond.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I would ask the question and beg to ask, how long you didn't had them pants? They high water, they're tight. You know what I'm saying?
That's where the woman. Okay, so that's
and
where
they low rise. Have you seen them? And they're low rise. You seen them with? You seen that one? It was underneath his belly. Did you see it?
My gifts.
That's why they need you. Remember, that's why they need you. The seamstress.
Femininity comes in because
but that one dude.
But we have to be that part for him, like
I think I would have popped the balloon. I think I would have popped it too, because there was one, and I think you know which one I'm talking about, because his stomach was disrespectfully over the pants with the belt, and they was tight. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and they were low rise. So if if he turned around, you could see probably the top crack area. You talking about?
Lost. Come get your girl Jamie. She's acting up over here.
You've seen it.
I mean, that's just any regular person,
No.
I wouldn't be.
You have time to pick out your outfit before you go on this show.
I'm gonna tell you, Miss Jamie, a lot like you said, a lot of people don't have a sense of style. A lot of people, like I said, they don't know. They doing what they think might look good or is trendy. They don't know what fits them properly, or you may need to get the next size up, or maybe you need to not bring the pants home. You might have to go get them tailored. Some people don't know that.
He sat down and he felt.
I can't do it. Lost. Come and get your girl, baby. Okay, she's making it bad for me on the network.
Okay? He sat down, and you know it. He felt all the tight. He felt because when you sit down and you got the pooch, and the belt hit and it creases in and it cut off circulation. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he felt it. He sat down and he knew that what he put on was inappropriate for him.
Maybe he thought he was going to be standing the whole time. See, now when you don't have to sit down.
You know what? I like how you do that. I like how you do that. You try to find the best in the situation.
That's how you do it.
But the truth is,
you're mean. All I can say is that we have the ability to take that man shopping, because I'm gonna tell you, if we don't do it and we don't stop being so superficial, these other women, these are gonna do it for him. They will say, "Oh, honey,
I agree. I would do it. Technically, actually, one of my jobs was being a personal shopper, so I'm okay with that. But that's why I said I know that he knows that those pants was wrong. Them pants were wrong. And you know what? He doesn't have any friends, because if you had real friends, they would have said, bruh, not those. If you had real female friends around you, the female would have said, that's not it. That's not it. But when you don't have friends, that's when you go out in public like that. That's what happens when you don't have friends. That's why you go out.
The good thing is, like, if you can't receive me in the state or how me for me, then you don't deserve me. That's
true. That's true. I already said
another aspect of it. If you
hear
like, oh, well, then that's fine. You have to find the person that does it for you. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe that you deserve me, but I'm just not your person. Let me rephrase it. Okay, I'm not your person.
Right. So maybe we think about it like this. Maybe he wore them intentionally. Maybe he wore them with the intent to say, if she can't pick me with these pants on, then she's not the woman for me. You feel me? Why are you laughing? I'm for real.
You're so crazy. What if somebody went on the show If you can't accept me in these pants, you're not the woman for me.
because maybe that was what he was trying to see. You
She's,
gotta test the spirit. You gotta
Law-
test the spirit.
Lost said, he said, did he have on the polyester slacks from the Mr. Brown collection?
Yeah, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about. You seen that episode? You know what I'm talking about. He
I haven't
knows.
seen this. You know, I really haven't been current since like the 20th something episode. So they've already into the 40s. So these are things I need to catch up on. I just be in the bed sleeping. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a reaction. And then I'm like this in the bed. But we can do a little bit more Tony and then go to 6 because I know you gotta go to bed. It's 11. 11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second.
And I did a video just like this. And I said, now you becoming an enemy of God because you are telling people not to live by the Holy Bible. You set an example that is trying to upend the work of God. And if you keep playing with God, you're going to pay a price. That brother died not long after that. And I'm not saying that's the reason he died, because the wages of sin lead to death. But he died from a heart attack while he was with a woman. So we don't know what kind of sex pills was in there. We already see evidence of all the overdose of Red Bulls. And then a lot of people got in their feelings and was feeling bad about it. But this is the thing. I already knew something bad was going to happen when he started waging war against the Holy Bible. People talking like, oh, no, he was for God. He was for the family. No, when you telling people to fornicate, that is a sin. That is against the Holy Bible. When you tell a woman if she go on a date after 5 p.m., then she need to open her legs and expect to have sex, that is not the work of God. And I heard him say that out his mouth. And it is no different than these Christian men like Lataria and Anthony O'Neill out here admitting to fornication, but at the same mouth saying they love God. And then the next weekend going to preach in somebody's pulpit. If you send this video to the pastor that keep letting Lataria and Anthony get in a pulpit and tell that pastor, you going to hell.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to hell if you keep playing with God and letting these sinning, willing, sinful men get in the pulpit and pluck women out your church to have them separated from God through fornication. You are going to pay a price because you are supposed to be a shepherd, and you should never let an unmarried man who is not living the life like Apostle Paul, modeled after Jesus Christ, get in your pulpit. Right. Never should a man be in your pulpit if he's not living like Apostle Paul and he's single. You are responsible, and everybody in that congregation, their blood is on your hands. Absolutely. And you need to take that what you call it, that cucumber out your behind and stop smoking meat of these so-called fake celebrity men. And you need to realize that you are a pastor and you are called to a high calling, and it is not being judgmental by protecting the mantle and keeping these sinning, fornicating, willing 40-year-old plus musky men out your pulpit from in front of these single, desperate, delusional women that's sitting out here listening to these clowns. If I was a woman and one of these clowns get in the pulpit, I am grabbing my purse. I got to go. And Pastor, I'm not coming back to this raggedy church till you get this clown out this pulpit. And every single person in there need to send these pastors an email and say, do not put this fornicating man in this pulpit again. I'm finna set this thing on fire with the Holy Spirit.
Hallelujah.
This is ridiculous.
Amen.
We out here supposed to be Christians and we playing in God's face with these clowns keep running their mouth. Shut up and sit down. Sit with a real man. Stop sitting with these gay pastors These down low pastors you keep sitting with that want to keep lying to you and telling you, oh, Tony Gaskin just judgmental. Tony Gaskin jealous of you. Oh, Tony Gaskin just want your subscriber. Boy, you stupid. I got everything a man could want. You ain't got nothing I want. You couldn't give me $1 billion to trade places with you because you're going to burn in hell if you don't stop playing with the Lord. Get your life together. Getting ridiculous out here, man. We need to be an example for these young men. We need to be an example for these young women. We need to be leaders for Christ. We need to be representation of the body of Christ. Stop playing with God. Before you have to pay a price. And then when they pay a price, don't y'all come to me, Tony, you said it. You sure called it. If you keep watching their videos and keep paying for tickets and keep downloading the podcast, the way you show them, the way you teach them is to stop reinforcing their sin. The more you sit in them views, the more you making them more famous, the more you doing that, then the more they're going to stay there. Because they addicted to fame. They addicted to money. They addicted to success. They addicted to attention. And until you remove that attention, they going to stay right there. And guess what? They blood going to be on your hands because you keep reinforcing. When you could be sending them private emails telling them, hey, and I'm going to tell y'all, when a man talking to a man, if you're a woman, sit down and be quiet. Because every time I do this, it'll be one woman writing, you should have talked a little softer. We men. We get our head blowed off in the street for nothing. We are men. If a grown, musky man can't handle another man talking firm and stern, that let you know he was raised by his mama. And he don't know how men talk to men. This how men talk to men. And if you don't understand that, then be quiet. Because when they digging off in you and putting these AIDS in you, putting these herpes in you, and putting all these other STDs in you, getting you pregnant and forcing you to go get an abortion and dogging you out, then you want to come to me crying and complaining. Oh, he did it. But when I was trying to get them together, you want to stand there and try to, don't talk to us so harshly. You shouldn't call us stupid.
I'm sorry, Tony is like
gentle. Devon Franklin one time, he gonna post it talking about be gentle and all of that. That's talking when you talking Christian to Christian. That's talking when you talking to somebody in your church and you trying to correct them. We talking to demon possessed men.
That's with authority.
Know the Lord, but choosing to walk with their demons. You can't talk nicely to these demons because they are here slaying the women of God with a unrighteous penis. That is demonic.
Oh my God. Wait.
That is demonic.
You watch this whole thing?
I don't have the patience.
Yeah, you have to watch it. It's so good.
Yeah. Let's sit down. Stop sleeping around with these women. Before we mess around and do you like some of these Muslims be doing now. Get your behind up out here. Keep playing around. You around here meat leg and putting dirty D in all of these women. And then want to come and sit up on the podcast and cry. When you grown and could do better. I'm tired of it. It's ridiculous out here. That's why I'm not associating with none of these fools. I'm not going on nobody podcast. I'm not doing nobody event till you find your wife and you get married and you shut your butt up and you sit down until you living right.
All right.
Exactly. All facts.
Tony was going. He was going. And it leads right into his anger and frustration is just a reflection of God's anger and frustration.
Not just anger.
He's like, it's ridiculous. Like, you don't really want to see me. You better listen to what my son is saying.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hear me because when it comes, he said, don't come to me. I can't pray for you at that point. So, which leads into the next clip of Six to Goddess of how our churches too are, how he said they're being lenient in these
Okay, let's listen to it.
Okay.
and then we could talk about it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
There was a time, I would say like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, where our community was very church heavy. And Black women were constantly being preyed upon by the pastor sometimes, whether it was for tithing, whether it was sleeping with all the women.
Mhm.
And I see that same play now when it comes to like this whole panel relationship stuff of it's Black women who are single, who are trying to find answers, but you're trying to find it from somebody who doesn't have those answers.
Mhm.
How can we save Black women from constantly falling for the Derrick Jacksons, Ace metaphors, from this same cycle every single time?
By what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tell them they have to earn something. I'm telling you, women translate telling them that they have to earn something as it being hateful. So they're all, that's what I mean by that's their audience, is the lazy women who want to be fat, legs open, feet in the air all the time, acting a fool, then talk about why can't I get a good man? And none of them, I don't see them up there saying it's because you're 300 pounds. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying because you got a big ass mouth, you don't know how to shut up sometime. They're not saying because you need a man and sleep with him.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Black women will stop falling for that when they understand the answer is in you. The answer is in getting yourself together. The answer is in you becoming humble. The answer is in you realizing it takes the work. It literally is just how they pander to lazy women. That's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. It is women who don't want to put the work in. Instead, I want some type of book or formula or pill I can take
Make me feel
where
good.
everything will just appear for me.
It's just like church.
Just like church. Be a
Wow.
terrible person, then say, God knows my heart. God knows that you was sucking it last night. Right? He knows, he saw. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. It's the same with religion. Religion, come as you are. Come as you are don't mean leave as you are. It means come as you are, but you're supposed to leave better. But you come as you are every Sunday. You're supposed to come as you are and leave better. You
That's
come as
deep.
you are, worse and worse each week. But that's their crowd. Fat church girls, all that. Ugly girls, girls who can't get no man, girls who can't get no text back. That's who's going. And that's the crowd who love the Keita and Randys, who tells them that they're fine. They're
Pause. All right, so that's why I don't agree with her, because I didn't seen pretty girls be stupid too, if not more. Like I remember seeing one at the altar every Sunday, right? Beautiful girl, but she was a hoe, right? And so what?
I didn't say anything.
So there's plenty of pretty girls that are whores.
Yeah.
There's a lot, actually. Like there's tons of them because they don't know their value either. So it's the misconception that it's just fat girls. I don't want to say that that's not true, because I've met fat girls or bigger girls that have more confidence than a skinny girl. It really depends on the person's mindset. But women in general, small, skinny, yellow, brown, black, whatever, no matter what it is, if she's stupid, she's stupid.
Right. And the thing is, if what we've done, which is bad in a sense, is that we've said, oh, you're a 10 too. But it's like, okay, well, realistically, you're unhealthy. You're like, you have diabetes, you have, you have these really conditions where you can really condition. You have these conditions that are making you sickly and make you unattractive. And you're like, this isn't good when you can get better. So, but the world or your friends or the whatever, they'll say that you're fine and you're the way that you're in. That's where it's bad. Like the Lizzo, look at her. She's even changing her life now. First it was the body shaming thing. I don't body shame me. Now she's in the gym. So now the people that look like her, why is she getting in the gym now? I thought she was with us, but
they got mad at Lizzo.
She's earning a better life for herself, or whatever she is deeming better,
but it has to be for her. Like I think, right? Like it has to be a choice that she decided to make, because Lizzo wasn't always fat. Like if you look at Lizzo back before she got with the dude that made her depressed or whatever, and she started taking food as her comfort, Lizzo wasn't always fat.
Mhm.
And I don't think that people really realize that she wasn't always that size. Now, whoever made her comfortable to think that it was okay to be that size, or whoever told her to capitalize and push the big girl narrative, because somebody in marketing, right? Somebody said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we can work your big girl. We can
Mhm.
work that." But there's some pictures of Lizzo when she had a job on the street and she used to do the sign. I don't know if y'all knew that, but Lizzo used to be on the side of the road flipping them signs. You talking about?
Not the Liberty tax. Liberty tax time. All right.
I'm about to choke. I be petty. This is the conversations I be having with my son because I'm petty. And so she's flipping them signs. She wasn't big like that then.
Okay.
That's right. So somebody told her that she could capitalize on that, and she did. She pushed the narrative. She came out. She was and she pushed the, excuse my language, she pushed the fat whole lane where like where you could dress slutty
Oh, sorry.
and be out of shape, and it was very derogatory, right?
Yeah.
But we have the skinny people that do that too. I just think that everybody needs an overhaul. There needs to definitely be an overhaul, right? Fat, skinny, medium size, it don't matter. Like, morals needs to be reinstituted into society, period.
Absolutely. And we're kind of getting a little taste of it now. It's not that it's equalizing everything, but seeing that the things that we heavily relied on, I mean, sometimes they wouldn't even benefit us anyway, but the extraction of a lot of things, everybody's like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? I'm going to be slave. I'm going to be cotton. Well, maybe if you don't act right, but I mean, look at Tabitha Brown. I saw the Target shelves, all the black hair care products. They couldn't wait to, I don't know what that was, honestly. They couldn't wait to get those items off the shelves.
Oh, so I see, like, I don't watch the news. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just
don't
kind of
the
like,
news, but sometimes I'll be hearing it like bling bling.
yeah.
I like TikTok. That's why I love TikTok. It shows you everything.
So what happened? So what are you saying? They took Tabitha's stuff off of the shelf?
So what the DEI it does, it incorporate it kind of encourages the businesses that probably only work with certain brands to include black owned products or services in their company to acquire some. And so we going either to the beauty salon or we going to Target, because they got the biggest selections and the newest drops there. They one person put the because Target is getting rid of it. They're complying with Trump, so they are dropping all the black owned products, and that's heavily saturated in the hair. So
Interesting.
And so like the people said that they put the mark off like clearance coupon, and all the shelves are so empty. And
really?
Wow.
So, okay, so I got a message because, I have a product that I make, right? I got a message and the person was like, are your products, getting taken off of, because my stuff is at walmart.com, right? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, the DEI. And I was like, my stuff didn't get in on walmart.com through DEI though. Like, it didn't. I don't even think they know that I'm black. I didn't file it like that. Like, I didn't file it under being a minority business. And so let me say this. Like, I don't think that that's right, but I'm glad I didn't do it. Like, so I have pitch decks to give to Target for that, and I never sent it. Praise God, because I'd be like the rest of these girls out here. But the reason why I didn't do it is because I don't think it's genuine then. Like, if I have to get on your shelf because of my color,
right,
and not because of the quality of my products and what I could bring to your business by having my products there, it's not genuine. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why they're able, huh?
I said
Huh?
like a balloon situation.
Yeah, it's not.
You didn't like me because of my pants. Fine. Not genuine.
It's not genuine, but it's not, right? Because then when stuff like this happens, you're in the boat of getting pulled off, right? Because
Absolutely.
your card that puts you on the shelf is being pulled from you.
Zero.
If
Mhm.
you're able to get your stuff into a location or being picked for the right reason, you don't have to worry about the other competitions or the possibilities of being pulled off of somebody's shelf.
Mhm.
Just be on the shelf because you actually sell good stuff. Just
Right.
be a pick or option for a wife because you are a good wife.
Absolutely. Just be good. That's why I was encouraging. This another lady, she creates content. Her name is Nicole. I really like her. And she's like, good girls. She said, just stay the course. That's just how it is, because eventually you're gonna be highlighted. Eventually you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Eventually God is gonna uncover you and say,
Mhm.
this is wife right here. Like there
Mhm.
she goes over there picking those oranges.
I need men to get disgusted. I need men to get to a level of disgust, right? So when I say that, I mean get disgusted with easy women, with easy access to things. I need them to get, because you know the Bible says to hate what God hates, right? So I need men to get to the level of hating what God hates, because if you hate what God hates, you won't pick hoes.
I mean, I guess. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I do like tight clothes. I do.
I gotta go.
do
No,
listen,
'cause
I made a post and I wore a dress to work, but
Mhm.
I wear stuff over it. I don't actively promote my body out there like that or things like that. It's like, wow, that dress looks nice, but I have to modestize it. I don't know how you can make it modest. So
Mhm.
that I can style it. Like you have all these things. I have cardigans, or if like even this dress is too small, get the pin, get the safety pin. You can still and bring it up here so that you're not being enticing. Things can be fitting and flattering, and things like that. But I'm like, wow, their body's just so nice. Sometimes they're just pretty. I'm like, wow, okay, no pause. But I'm like, wow,
You mean like the shape or like the
yeah,
like
like the shape or the beauty. I can understand why a man would be attracted to
yeah,
that,
yeah,
because it's
you're
like
allowed to be
instant,
attracted.
like an instant, like woo. But as men say, they won't
You
write
said,
things like
but you
that.
just so you're saying you like tight clothes,
Hmm.
and
I do.
so
I admit that. I would say like those are things that I would reserve for my
so you
man.
got a little hoe in you, is what you're saying.
Yes. So it's in reserve, and I'm waiting to
Ah,
unleash it for my
I think I
husband.
need to go to bed because
But see,
you were
that's
not supposed to say that.
we don't. That's one thing I forgot to have. Like you, as like some Christian women, we just get so staunch and be like, oh, with our, at home. And I'm like, well, I want to embrace that sensuality. I want to be soft. I don't want to be afraid to smell good or let him see that strap and embrace me. You know what I'm saying? I
I
don't
mean,
want to,
you can wear tight
put
clothes
that
at
on my husband.
home, but
Yeah, at home. Yeah.
Okay, so look, there's like this phenomenon with muumuus, right? Because back in the day, grandma, what you seen the
Moo 2025.
oh my god. Oh. Okay.
I'm just being honest. I'm just saying, like, I do like, I like nice fitting clothes. But I mean, I don't have the body to pull it off. But there's just things I do like. But I know that there's a level that of appropriateness that have to be exercised. One, if I say that I'm a Christian, there's things that I just cannot wear. If I say that I'm a Christian, I have to cover up. If I say that I'm a respectable mother or advocating for femininity, things have to be curated in a way that still maintain my level of self-respect and how I present to the world. Most definitely.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. I didn't say it, I just thought it
No,
was funny when you
I'm
were like,
just
I
telling
gotta be
everybody because they're gonna be like, oh, whatever. But I want to be honest. That I do like it. I ain't gonna lie.
I wear sweats, you guys, so I don't have no dog in that fight. I don't. No, because I got a shape, and so I
Mhm.
I have purpose in my heart to I just wear sweats. I just keep it to where it's not enticing to anybody.
I just
But
recently got some stylish. I want to go grab them, but I got this nice stylish sweatsuit. I don't wear sweatsuit. Okay, I wear dresses, I wear blouses and blaze. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Maybe I can make this feminine.
you can,
But
you could
I
definitely
love
dress up a sweat. Like you could definitely
it.
dress up a sweatsuit for sure. You
Mhm.
can. You can throw some heels on with it. Like you could really do it. But
Mhm.
I mean, like I have my reasons
Yeah.
for like the way I'm dressing at this moment in my life. But no, I mean, if you go in my closet though, in my real clothes, they definitely
Mhm.
are fitted. So if I do ever get dressed ever again.
You have to start just getting dressed. Like me, I
No, no,
used to.
no, no. No,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Mm-mm. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm okay cuz I don't.
No, I am coming down to wherever you are and
No, no,
we're
no.
getting
No,
dressed
no.
up. Yeah.
You said yeah.
I went to the post office. My mother's like, "Where you going?" I'm like, "To the post office,"
Yeah, no.
and I'll be looking like this. She's like, "Okay."
No, I
But that's just something I knew that when I was in not that I knew, but when I looked back in the pictures, even though my husband, loved me, it's still like giving a reason to work that muscle of, okay, don't let yourself go too much or look good for yourself, look good for your man, like just keep it.
Yeah, I mean, I look good in these sweats.
That's only
I
me.
mean, like, I look fire in these sweats. And then my
No,
edges
that
be
was
laid.
only me.
My edges
Mm-hmm.
be laid, and I'm like, and I got my pearls on. Who wears
Ooh,
pearls and sweats?
I need
It's a
some
whole
more.
trend. It's a whole trend. I'm trending over here. Pearls and
Okay.
sweats.
You know what I do? I also get my sweatsuits, like shirts. I cut them. I cut holes in them so you can see like my
See
shoulders. I be
that?
doing some crazy stuff. I got charms. I told you I be dressing up. I tell you, I'm too much.
Just
But I'm
saying, you can do so much with it. I just.
absolutely.
Anyways, okay, all right, all right,
Anyways, so
all right.
going back to 6, and the guy was saying like how
Oh,
these.
okay. Talk about the church. I do now.
Mhm.
Okay, here's my opinion. I
Go ahead.
believe that the church has not done what they're supposed to do. So, like, okay, we know we have the podcast that you just did an interview on Titus 2:4-8, right? We talk about women teaching women how to be wives.
Absolutely.
Has that been happening? No, it hasn't. You see a lot of churches when I was growing up. I've seen a lot of more in my churches that I've seen more women than men. The men usually stayed at home, right? I didn't see the model of what the book of Titus says that we should have in our church. And so, yes, we have breeded women to fall for the okie doke. We have
Yep.
breeded women that fall for the lies, not just of men in the world, but the men in the pulpit. What was I gonna say? Oh, my very book that I would recommend to anybody is Pimping from the Pulpit to the Pews.
Who's that by?
Pimping. Hassani Petterford.
Okay.
It's a gold book. I know it's gold. I know the color, the front cover. Best book I ever read was Pimping from the Pulpit to the Pews by
Doggone it.
Hassani Petterford. Yeah. And that really changed my life because, when you go into a church, a lot of times they try to convince you to serve the pastor, serve the church, serve that. And that book exposed that mind thought and how it was affecting the Black family. And then Dr. Miles Monroe did several sermons telling the wives to stop coming to church and serving at the church and go home, serve their husbands, and tell them that he sent them back home. By him doing that, the husbands came to the church to meet the man that told their wives to serve them. And that's how he got those men. That's how he had a church full of families that's how he did that, was by allowing the husband to be the head of the household and not being the head of the household by convincing the woman to be in his church and in his face all the time. So those are the two men that I think that are underrated on.
Because I never even heard of that, and I'm like, there's got to be some book around it. And I've been buying so many books as of recently, and just things that are going to help me get better, because in the times that we're going into, like uncertainty with, it's just like we ain't even out of January and so much stuff has happened. It's not
Right.
even funny. And
Here's one more book.
go ahead.
One more book. Black Thighs, Black Lies, and Bedroom Lies, or something like that. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, come on. I'm putting it in my chat.
There's like several those 3 books I read in 1 year, and that's when I sat down. That's really them is the books that made me go, okay, that's enough. Because I'm gonna be out here looking stupid.
This is good. We need this. Don't tell me I ain't got the proper pencil, pen, or anything. Okay, now what was that again?
I'm looking for it so I can make sure I have it in order. Black. Hold on. Because I haven't read these in some years. It's been some years. Oh, here we go. Black Thighs, Black Guys, and Bedroom Lies. That's by Hassani Pettiford too.
Black Thighs.
Black Guys and Bedroom Lies.
Black Guys and Bedroom
Lies.
Ooh, this is scary.
It was scary, actually. That's why
I know. I'm like, now, what? But now, if you read this book, now what they telling you online, what they telling you. Let's remove ourselves. Let me remove you real quick. Things they say black big thighs, thick thighs save lives. They trying to tell us the up.
That's what they say.
That's why I put these clothes. They put the messages everywhere so that we can keep falling
for the okie doke. But I'll say this: it would do the industry disservice if single Black women get married because their husbands won't allow them to invest in these people's industry.
Oh, heck no.
It's the truth, though. If you think about it, if you have a husband, your husband is going to be like, we're not spending money on them because he's a liar. A man knows if another man isn't no good. They can pick up on that really quick, right? And so if Black women get married and they marry good Black men, the man is going to say, hey, we're not investing in that. You're not going to that church no more because he's not a real man of God. You're not going to that event because he's single, and what advice can he give you? You're not going. Do you see what I'm saying? There's going to be a covering that Black women don't have. And so if they promote Black women getting married, it decreases the industry. It benefits these industries, these places, if we stay single.
Hold on. Hold on, girl. Where is my document? Where is...
That's just like with the healthcare industry. I mean, like, we should just be real. Every industry is benefited from a niche or a core audience, right? A what do you call it? A customer, consumer. So if you are in the medical industry and you really get fixed, will that industry grow or will it diminish? Right? So I have to give you something that's going to make you a consistent consumer.
Yeah. And I really would encourage a lot of women to read this letter.
What letter?
It will make your life open up your eyeballs to see what they think about you and how they purposely put this algorithm in our minds so many years ago, and it's been a generational thing. The Willie Lynch letter, making of
Oh
a
yeah,
slave.
yeah. Mhm.
What? And this is all of us. This your program right there. And it's still going on. It still goes on. It says the breaking process of the African woman. They're probably African and indigenous woman. Wherever they were, they were breaking us no matter what. And test her in every way. So if it's not these shows, if it's not Love and Hip Hop, if it's not the healthcare industry, they're gonna test you guys in every way. They don't care. All right, this still goes on because she has the most important factor for good economics. As we said, we come out in the drove, we support. If it's an all-white party, we all buy an all-white, even
Come on now.
we're gonna do it because our money goes with our purpose. So if, like she said, if we are not putting our money and our time and effort into the purpose of our home and our man's vision, we're just going nowhere. We're spinning the wheels.
And we're investing in their purpose, like the purpose to keep us oppressed, the purpose to keep us without husbands, the purpose to continue the slave master's original plan for us, right? So we don't even need the slave master no more. We got our own people doing it to us.
And it says, take care not to murk her, for in doing so you spoil good economic, because they know that you're profitable. And when in complete submission, which we probably have been for some time, she will train her offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. And this is where we are. And this is where
it's the way you're reading it, though. Like,
and I've honestly, the only person that that can save us from these aspects of slavery and bondage is God, is Christ.
It's true.
And I love that we have this camaraderie here to explain that, but that voice is so small and then the lies are so big.
That's true. But I think again it's where men have to, they've got to get tired of being played by pretty women that really just state what they want to hear and don't actually live it. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? And they have to be able to be willing to push the hard truth, right? We have to be both held accountable. We both have to submit to God. We both have to fear the Lord.
Yeah,
right? We can't just point the finger. It's hard on both of us. It's hard to submit to Christ, right? It's hard to submit to that type of teaching, but we have to be able to want a change so bad in our community that we are willing to make the sacrifice to do so.
But I will say, Lord, please let that be just as easy as that.
It's not easy because I told you I live a whole different life, right? It's a whole different life. And there's some days where I just want to say, you know what? I'm going outside.
Really, Lynch, here I come.
I am going outside. You know, I'm sorry. That's what I just.
I'm going outside.
But to be completely honest, I wouldn't make it out there. I wouldn't make it out there at all. And I kind of like the life I live. Like I like the peace that I have. I like that, but you have to get to the point where you like that. You know what I'm saying? Where you learn how to live unbothered. and you want the betterment of your community. That
Right.
has to be because it's so much bigger than you, right? These generations get left here. Okay, like my son said this. My son came home and he said, "There's something wrong with these girls." This is my son. He's in high school, right? He said, "Why?" She said they were having a conversation in their class, and he said the girl said that she doesn't like good guys because they're boring.
Mm,
This is in high school.
right.
He said she said that, and I thought it was just her opinion, and then all the other girls agreed with her. And so he said, "Well, I'm never gonna be a bad boy. Like, so I guess you just never gonna like me then, because I'm not doing it. I'm
Right.
not changing to appease you because I want a girl so bad. Y'all got to get your lives together. Because a bad boy is all he's gonna do is take you through the ringer, and then you're
Mhm.
gonna come to this good guy later, and you're gonna want me to save you, and I don't want you."
Right. And he has every right to decline the
Right.
card.
But that's scary to me. But that's scary to me to know that there's girls out here that have that
Already.
mindset.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they're what, in the 10th, 11th grade?
Right.
Okay.
It's the same tune but a different flavor, a different remix, because I think we had we enjoyed getting into like boyfriend and girlfriend relationships back then. It wasn't, it was age appropriate. For me in my experience. Um but like, and there wasn't a lot of like promiscuous content out as it is today. The music wasn't like direct, it was more indirect.
Yeah, but it
Type.
was nasty too.
Yeah, it
Now
was
that I like,
nasty, but not like or it just was different. And then the BET Uncut came on at 3 o'clock in the morning, not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. And not on TikTok 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And not
right.
coming to my school, Sexy Red. Hello. How did you do that? She at the
Like,
daggone middle school. So
get it sexy. Now, let me say this though. Let me just say this one thing.
yeah.
That's really catchy. Okay. And I like to put my names in songs, but like, get it, Jamie. Because you can hear it. Can you hear it? Get
So
it,
did you
Jamie?
do the same thing with cooking with Kaya? Did you do cooking with Jamie? Oh,
I don't even know her. See, that's why I be missing stuff. Who is that?
there was a girl online where she was just cooking, cooking at home. She wasn't doing no sexy rest. Well, she did a little body twitching. And she was like, cooking with Kaya. And so what was happening is that the guys, they were like, yeah, this is nice. This girl's cooking. And then the guys would sing with her, cooking with Kaya. And then the girlfriend was like, that's freaking cooking with Kaya. She over here twerking her body. But the guys are just like liking the fact that I guess she was a nice looking young lady. And she
No,
was
they like,
cooking.
no, you're being nice. I think you really do that passive thing. No, they liked it because she was twerking.
But no, that wasn't all of it either. But she really cooked food. It wasn't like no crappy food. I really liked what she was cooking.
I mean, I'm not saying that she wasn't cooking real food, but there was like a body going with the food.
She was a little bit twitchy. But therefore, like we said, if
Oh my God.
these things are not happening at home. Yeah, yes, one. And then two, the wander knives have to stop, like you said. We can't validate, certain things that are not becoming for young women. But, all these excitements, we should have that for our husbands reserved for him so that he doesn't even it doesn't even register like, oh, that girl, she's just trying to get some attention. Maybe not. But
that has to start with the man before he meet the wife, though. He got to learn self-control.
that is true. That's true.
Yeah,
but I mean, you learn self-control. But I will tell you,
because the bums on the street don't look. They don't be looking. Them bums on the street, they don't be looking at other women with no teeth. You feel me? Like
David can fall. I ain't gonna put no pressure or nothing past any person. But
got a
it's
different
like,
type of loyalty. I'm
you
just
gotta,
saying.
I mean, I don't care if you look, you just don't have to touch. I could deal with that because I know when Jim Caviezel, Superman from Marvel, he's hot.
Oh, you don't mind them looking because you're going to be looking.
No, I just like he's handsome.
No, but because you don't mind him looking at other women because
No,
you're gonna
it's
be
not that.
looking.
I've come to understand that there are prettier people than me or more attractive people than me. I understand that men look. So by me accepting that, it's not much of a bother or saying, well, I'm going to look too. No, it's not that. I just understand that there's more attractive people than
There's
me.
a difference between looking and lusting, though. So
Yeah,
I think
no, I
there's
ain't
like
gonna
a
look at nobody.
distinguishing
Yeah.
between looking and lusting, because you can admire beautiful things. There's beautiful
Mhm.
things all the time. Women admire beautiful women, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't lust after that woman. There's a
Yeah.
distinct difference between the two.
I'm not talking about lust. I'm just talking about, oh, that girl's nice. Ooh, okay.
No, but majority of men lust though. Like when they start looking, they start imagining.
But I know that it may be an imagine, but I'm saying like if it's a woman in passing, he'll never see her again or what. I can't say like, oh,
You
turn
never
your head.
know.
Pop.
You don't never know if he's gonna see her again, because the way Satan sets things up, he will. Because we got the internet.
I ain't thinking that deep.
We got the internet. The internet, you can find anybody, anytime, any location. It's so access. You can download an app and cheat. There's an app that helps you cheat on your mate. We have those now. There's apps that are actually set up to safely cheat on your significant other. That's the society we live in. So you can find what you saw on the street.
I ain't even taking it that deep.
Google. I think it still starts with the man.
I just think it starts with all of us. Like you said, if those weak points or things that we haven't overcome, he has to exercise those things, both of us, in our singleness, so that we prepare ourselves for marriage in that way, and we won't be easily swayed, or that won't be.
It's a choice not to be unfaithful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, it doesn't matter, because one day somebody could not look the same as they did when you married them. So if you didn't make the choice to love that person regardless of what they look like,
right,
you didn't love them in the first place.
Right.
You didn't. That's why I said
a whole bunch of people, they get married for the wrong reason.
Right. But the bums on the street are a prime example. I'm gonna keep bringing them up.
Well, fine. Okay, we're gonna have you're gonna, instead of a pop the balloon, you're gonna be bummed to marriage. Like you're gonna be on the street, dressed the most horrible way, dirty head, smelly breath, right out of the bed. Don't wash up for a whole.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
at your worst, and then
what I'm saying is they look at the value of the person, and obviously they see some value, because to me, if you on the street just like I am, I don't see the value in the situation. And that's because we look at it shallow, right? But I'm just being honest, because he can't provide for nothing for you. I mean, like, he can protect you in those streets though, but like there's something that we're missing in society. And people want to say, like you said, there's beauty and he's gonna look, but and that's fine, he can look, but it still ends up being lust. And so what I'm saying is, the bum on the street, he can look too,
but he can lust too.
But nah, nobody gonna want him.
You can't say that a bum ain't gonna do it. A bum. That's why I said it's in a man's nature.
No, say it. What were you gonna say? No, Stephanie.
You trying to say because he's a bum,
a bum not gonna do what a bum gonna do. Say it. What's
a man gonna do what a man gonna do. And if that's what I'm saying, like if a person out of my sight and mind says like, oh my God, but I got to stop that. That's not a God. Like, that's self-checking, that's self-regulation, because those are character traits within himself that he has built
He fears the Lord.
And respects himself and respects his covenant that he made. I can accept that. See, that's being real. I know that there's pretty women. I know that this girl got better looking feet than me. These old Fred Flintstone feet. You know what I'm saying? That got a
Why are we telling people that you have Flintstone feet though?
But that's
like,
okay. That's it. But this is it. You have to accept, like you said, that bum. I have to accept who the real me is, because a man, when they want to see you, they don't want to see with all the filters and catfish and all that stuff. They want to see you and your Fred Flintstone feet and everything. Then they're like, okay, that's cool, because sometimes they don't really big up things as we do as women. And they just see you for who you are, and they're like, okay. Men are more accepting that way than the women, where we pop our balloon for belt buckles and
no, them pants were tight. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel about that. Them pants were tight. And that tells me that he probably wears tighty whities, and that is just unacceptable at that age.
Underwear. So, okay, if it was on a bum, would it be acceptable at that age?
I'm not out here dating bums, though. I'm not out here dating bums. I'm just saying that I was saying that you could find, if a bum on the street could find a man, you can too. You feel me? In the name of Jesus, if you're bum in the street can find a man, you can too. You feel me? Like that. Don't make it too hard. You just gotta
bad.
Don't make it too hard. That's all I'm saying. I think people are just making it too hard.
Yeah,
because they feel
kind of confusing message.
Yeah, they're just making it too hard. You have to know your core values. You have to know what you believe. You have to have a clear understanding, and you have to be willing to walk away when those people don't exude those, right? And that's just it. I think it's just walk away. You know, I was coaching a girl one time, and she had just met a dude. She talked on the phone with him 3 or 4 times. Okay, didn't go on a date yet. He decided there's some drama that happened because she was full of drama. So she created a scenario to where she could be victim to see if he was going to save her, because that's how she knew if somebody liked her. This is something that she would create. Okay, and so she created some drama. He heard the drama on the phone. She's thinking that he's going to console her and all that stuff. He said, oh, no. He said, He said, no, I can't. You know, I've got a lot to live for, my life. I got purpose. I've got this. And he said, it was really a pleasure meeting you. You are a beautiful young lady. When you get your life together, maybe we can revisit this. But until then, you will not be hearing from me. She about died. I said, you need to respect that. I said, because he could have smashed and then never talk to you again, which is a normal thing, right? Where he
said revisit. That's why I told you that the men, they're more loving and caring than we give them credit. They do have it in them, but they do have they're getting better with their self-respect and standards, and like telling women no. And I'm like, yes, that's what I'm saying, because I want my son to be like that too.
Yeah.
But I love that story. That's good.
It was a phenomenal story.
You know, you'd be like, what?
She was acting like that. That's because I ended up getting a phone call. I said, you should be happy. I was excited. She was upset. I said, I gotta get off the phone with you. You just got somebody to respect you and not play you, and you wanted to get played.
But she can go right to Ace Metaphors show.
Oh no, you weren't supposed to say that, Stephanie. Put your glasses on. That was really bad. That was very, very bad. That was good though, because I think it was funny. My heart is laughing, but my spirit is saying that wasn't right.
Hey, you want to use your bum scenario? I wanted to throw something in there too.
That was so good though. That was really good. It was really good. It was very puns all intended. Were they not? All the puns were intended. That was so good.
You know, but I just let you know that's where there's the market for the liars, deceivers, and the false prophets, and the false pastors, and these false house. And these are what the men that see. That's like you said, they're not going to align themselves with these houses. They're going to stay at home. I'd rather stay at home, which is probably the safer place, because they might get upset and like That is the proper place for them to go. And I told him, I said, why do you guys just stay home? Why can't you guys find and seek a real house? I mean, like, you know, if God leads you that way, that is feeding the sheep, that is operating how it's supposed to be. Like, why?
Because it's boring.
Remote. It's not, everything is not going to work remote all the time. You got to get in the field.
I think it's because it's boring. I think that people like toxicity. They don't want to admit that they like toxicity. They do. They because
I like my guilty pleasure. I told you I like my,
you know, like, because I was thinking the other day, I was like, I'm overly calm. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that it annoys people sometimes because I be just really unbothered. Right? There's a level of unbothered that I have reached, but because I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, so
or is you have peace.
I just have peace. Like, I'm cool. Like, you get what I'm saying? But I've always been like that. So it'd be like, if I don't hear from somebody, I'm not like, oh my God, I haven't heard from you all day. But people want that. You know, I'd be like, thank God you didn't call me, because I count my words, and I feel like if I talk too much, it pisses me off. Like, so I don't want to talk that much. Like, I don't want to have to carry on a conversation if I want to sit with you in silence and be unbothered together. Like, I don't want discord. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to care about things that I don't need to care about.
Help me, Jesus. Well, thank God Jesus invented text so that you don't have to talk.
I don't even want to do that. You know what? I don't even do that. Like, I'd be like, you'll be all right. You feel me? Meh. Like, this conversation is just so unnecessary. Like, if this conversation gonna change the world, are we gonna change anybody's lives? We not? Okay, then I need to go take a nap. Is the way I be thinking.
Don't be sleeping in the boat like Jesus.
I need to take a nap, or I need to figure out how to make some additional income, because there's something that my son's gonna want to do. You feel me? And that's where I'll be at.
Absolutely. You're not lying. You ain't lying.
Because there's some conversations that I have with people, I'm like, this was dumb. Like, I go back and I look at it and I'm like, that was just a waste. That was a waste of like, I'm very mission oriented, and so I've realized that.
And people that are like that, organized.
Yeah, and I don't
think religion, but just an organized effort.
I like order. You know, I like peace. I like quiet. I like a clean house. You feel me? I love a clean house. You ever want to get excited?
Look at the eyebrows, y'all. Went up.
Let that house start getting clean. I'd be like, whoo. You know, like, like when I got all the laundry done on Monday and I had to think about it the rest of the week. I've been so excited the whole week just because the laundry been done. What laundry? And it's folded and put away. Like, it'd be stuff like that make me happy. Right?
So, will a nice eligible bachelor fit into this scenario?
I'm not concerned about that.
Okay.
I'm not concerned.
I'm not saying that. If he walks up and says, "Jamie,
who finds a wife finds a good thing."
All right, he found you. Hypothetically, how would you acclimate, or is this something that you'll be,
I mean, if he wants to go, and he got to be calm. Like, I mean, I'm willing to go travel. I'm willing to do things, but he got to be calm. You're not calm when I say that, but like, he got to try not to agitate me. I don't want no triangulation in my life. I don't want like none of that. Right? I need for you to be at peace with your life. I don't need for you to need attention the negative way, because you're going to get attention, but I don't need you to be creating scenarios to piss me off. Because that's when it's gonna get ugly. Because I be over here minding my business. You see what I'm saying? And so I think
you gotta come out of your business. We're live together now.
My business is sufficient.
Baby, where are my socks? Where are my underwear?
My business is sufficient.
Where are my tools?
In Jesus' name. It's really simple. I think that if you
don't be trying to be in your client. Where are my tools?
If you see somebody at peace and it's a weird peace to you, you ain't never seen it before, don't come disturbing that. You know what I'm saying?
You
Just
can't say that.
hmm?
He might be your opposite. He be like, he might just like, oh my God.
No. I'm telling you, he could be fun. You know, he could be fun, but don't create scenarios that involve other people. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you
Like
can
what?
be like the what you see on the Tonight's Conversation.
None of that. I'm not even talking about none of that.
I'm saying people bring that type of stuff to relationships, but and they create chaos. Don't create chaos. You can be fun. You can be my polar opposite. You can want to travel and do all kinds of stuff. I'm okay with that. But don't be bringing no craziness,
Like what?
unhealedness, other
Okay,
womenness,
see,
all of those things,
good.
extraness.
But no, you're gonna have a person that's already gonna be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that I think that's the problem. People don't be healed and they meet somebody that is, and they don't know how to take it. They call it boring, right? Because they're used to a little bit of, like, I think I hear men say all the time, women want other men. No, women want men that other women want. Is that how that conversation go? Like they want what they can't have, or they want what's already taken.
Those
Yes,
thoughts ain't even in my brain.
but no, this is what men say in these streets. They say that women desire men that are already taken.
That thought ain't even in my brain.
Okay, well, that's what they say. And I've heard them say it on several times, right? That's not what I want. I don't want that. I don't care. I don't care what another woman wants. You get what I'm saying? And so I don't desire the triangulation of what that would cause. See, somebody says that, but it's true. It's true. And
Thank
so,
you,
like,
Stanley. Finally, somebody shows up in the comments.
I don't believe that that's like, I think any woman that desires another woman's man or another man that is taken is something wrong with you, because you're creating a competition in your head that's not even a competition. He's already taken. And if you desire that, that's weird. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I don't want a man that likes that type of drama either. Because there's men that like that type of oh, I'm wanted by all these women and whatever. All that. I don't want that.
I don't know, but
I want a regular man. I just want a regular man.
But that's all you gotta say.
Yeah, no, I want a regular man that knows his purpose.
Yeah, that's the thing I like. Mm-hmm.
See, look, somebody said most women don't want a man no other woman desires.
I don't know what that is. That don't register with me.
Stop playing. Listen, read the comment.
It don't register with
You
me.
are having cognitive dissonance right now, and I need you to come back to reality. You read the Willie Lynch letter and you forgot. You need to come back.
I don't care about all that. This don't register with me. No, I don't like that, because you know what? I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. But the thing is,
oh wow. Unfortunately, my wedding ring draws more than it repels.
But that's only because it's a symbol.
No, see, you're not listening to what he said. Stanley, she's not listening. She's doing the woman thing.
But that's a perversion. I don't think in a perverted tone. I don't think in a perverted mindset.
I get what you're saying, but the perverted mindset is a reality. Stanley is telling you here as a witness that women are more attracted to him because of his wedding ring.
Okay, but then we know that that's a false guise. It's like, you know that you're married and you know that this lady is like, oh, Stanley, you know that's already the serpent right there. Now
Stanley don't have to know that, because what if Stanley don't know the Lord? What if Stanley don't know? Stanley, do you know the Lord? Stanley, do you have a relationship with the Lord? When those women hit on you, how does that feel? Do you like that attention, Stanley? And these are legitimate questions. I'm not trying to be funny, because, you know, Some men like the attention that comes with it. Sometimes people get married because they want attention from other people. If this is the mindset of the masses, we got a problem.
But listen, darling, let me tell you. You don't have to be married to wear a ring on your effing finger. Let me just make it that plain. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It's just a symbol. If that man does not have those character that you're seeking, that's not your man. If this is all I gotta put on to say that I gotta get some, bring me down to K Jewelers right now. Let me get that little ring off of Amazon. And he doesn't have to be in a covenant to even.
So you're saying men should wear fake rings so that they can get attention?
But that's what I'm saying. If it just like Prototype said, he said he wore the rings, right, to get the specific attention.
He said that? When did he say that?
That was on the last show you was on.
Oh, that's what he said? I didn't hear that. He said he wore the ring.
Yes, he wore a ring to get a specific job because he knew, not from the woman's aspect, he said in general, it garners respect and a different adoration from people around him. So it's not necessarily the women. Actually, it's a business deal maker. So that person may trust you more because he's already been proven that he can provide and he can do these things. And that's just across the board. As I said, what a symbol it represents. That's why I said that. Now, if that guy's a goon, that's a different thing. You know what I'm saying?
Stanley said that even when he don't have his ring on, there's a married vibe that's given off. So they could smell it. They could smell married. That's what Stanley said.
But that's now that has to be the level of discernment of knowing that that's the enemy.
But what if they don't know the Lord?
Cheating is never an acceptable principle, whether saved or unsaved, because even in sports, when you cheat, it's a violation. So it's never an acceptable principle. Because not everybody say, I don't believe in the Bible. Okay, then let's bring it to sports, something that you understand. You're going to get penalized.
And a professional knows what a ring mark looks like. Cause cheater to take the ring off. All right. So
now they're professionals. Professional what, Stanley? A woman or a hoe? Because that's two different things.
Whoa.
Let's call it as what it is.
It's not acceptable. Still happens daily, though. See, he said it happens daily. I know that's not our mindset. Because I don't look at, like, if I see a married man, I'm excited. Like, oh my gosh, thank the Lord you decided to make that.
Like, oh my goodness, that guy looks nice. And then I see that,
yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Run like a roach.
Scatter. But I don't understand how that makes that somebody more appealing.
We would have to talk to the professional not carers, homewreckers, to say that, because either that's a target, either that's a mark.
We need to get sprinkle. You think we should?
She's injected so much poison into the dating scene.
I'm gonna reach out to her. A woman, not a prostitute. If you're serious about this dude and he has that, I just took off my ring mark.
Excuse me.
All right, so Black women already have the answer. What is the answer?
The answer is
dun, 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 dun.
For
As
me,
it is a red flag. Mm-hmm.
You have left your first love.
That's good. What's the first love?
God.
Yeah.
We have rejected the cornerstone. We have rejected
Ooh.
our foundation. We
Yep.
rejected our first love.
So you're saying we're in idol worship? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What's the idol? Is the idol the relationship, or is the idol self, or is the idol the man?
All of it. Because at
Ooh.
this point, it's so stacked. The interest is so high in our efforts to try to run things and control things and manipulate things. It's just the debt is so much. That's why Jesus really had to come and save, because in our efforts to try to fix things, we probably wouldn't even, it would be just like the American debt, just too much that nobody can.
Why did you have to add that in?
Because it is just like that. It's like that's what it seems like in the eyes of the men that like are looking for wives. It's like it's just too much out here. It's too much effort. The needle in the haystack. Forget the needle. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna go somewhere else where it's in abundance. And we have the answers, and it comes with our God-given identity. We got to go back to the manufacturer. When the TV's broken, we send it back to get fixed. We got to go to the repairman. We're broken. And our efforts and these people that are broken, they cannot do anything for us. And if it's a spiritual thing, and if it's a curse, if it's no man on any stage can do anything for you except that person is led by God and is telling you to get in your word and get before God.
He said when people are worshiping their own attention.
Yeah. Occupied. Scrolling.
The idol is attention. The subject is self. Nice, Stanley. That's nice. Yeah, that summed up. Yeah, that actually like really summed up what you.
Yeah, it's all of that. And so when now you gotta break that self. You're like, ooh, that's hard. You gotta break it back. You gotta peel it. You gotta break up the fallow ground. You gotta do so much stuff. You gotta plant the seeds, and then the enemy might come and steal the seeds and uproot it. So,
do you think that it's harder for women to break self than it is for men?
Because of our emotional attachment, and men are more logical, so they'll think, okay, that makes sense. Woman, it doesn't feel no. And then we just get so ill guarded. And so yeah, it's a deeper well that we have to
so you really think I'm just like, okay, so you think that it's harder for women to change than it is for men because women are more emotional?
Yes, because our change has to come with, it has to be an environment, it has to be safe, it has to be these certain things for us to like fully surrender. Now we can change, but we'd be like with that side eye, like but you're still in an arrested state until you get with that person where you just that care in the world, like you're a little girl in the candy shop, like how Jesus make you feel. It has to be like that, or you just can't just relax, like, fully relaxing it. It takes more of us because we're weaker. The weaker vessel, God tells the man to deal with us in that way because we are the weaker vessel. It's just some things we need in order to fully expressive without the, I believe so.
Interesting. Okay.
It's true. Like even me asking for help, like at work, when I was at work, I'm running here, I'm a shoulder and I'm a good worker. But the Latino girl, mijo, can you get this for me? And she over here not even sweating. I'm like, how's she doing that? And I'm over here killing myself. Maybe I need to use what God gave me to help.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't, because I do. I do not do all that.
That was back in the day because
you cannot pay
no.
me to
I
do
did not know. I thought my performance, which is masculine probably for the work wife situation, and I was just burnt out.
I would act like I don't know how to do anything. I'd be like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that means.
But it wasn't so much like that. The acting, I really needed help.
Yeah,
I really did. But I thought me going above and beyond would get me the reward, and it really didn't when I really needed an extra hand.
Right.
And not be afraid to ask.
Yeah, I see that. I could see that.
Right.
I could definitely see that.
Yes.
So you felt like wanting that's a problem that Black women have?
Yeah. Because we're
for
out here
help?
doing it all ourselves, and then we end up in TikTok crying in the car. Oh my God, I can't do it anymore. Eventually, you're gonna crack, and it happens all the time. Like
I need to get on TikTok. I didn't miss a lot of videos.
Spot. Like it comes out. It comes out of our bodies. We don't do well with that stuff. It just ain't supposed to be like that.
Well, do you think that has actually been like something that was trained into the Black women, or just even Black people in general, is to be the best at what you do, right? And then when Black women got in the workforce, it was you have to work harder than everybody else, right? But then that trickles down into the relationship aspect as well, because they don't know how to decipher the two. Men need to be needed. If we aren't needed, it will show. Yeah, right. I would say like, so my dad was like, he would be like, okay, Jamie, I'm about to show you how to change your tire, but you only utilize this when there's nobody around, when you absolutely have to. And so I remember one time, like the tire thing, and in my mind, I'm like, I know how to change this tire. Like, I know how to change this tire. I probably could change this tire really quick than the situation that I was in. But I allowed the guy that pulled over to help to do it. But it took so much longer, I felt, than if I would have just did it myself. But I had to put in practice. My daddy said, act like you don't know how to do it. You know what I mean?
But but everybody don't have a daddy telling them that, or
I'm telling them now. I'm telling them on here. If you on here, listen, you got to act like you don't know how to do it.
But I'm saying now, from a woman, it could sound like, oh, that's manipulative. But if your daddy's telling you, you know what I'm saying? That's like, Stanley said what a man is.
Yeah, Stanley said he told his daughter the same thing. Like my dad.
When the instructions, a lot of this stuff, we are missing it from the home.
Yeah.
And if we can just, like you said, have the answers, like all the answers are way back there,
Yeah, that's true. I remember when my dad, like, he called me outside. He was like, "You're gonna learn how to change your oil." I started crying.
I don't know how to change my oil. I do have a design.
I started crying. I was like, I am a girl and I do not change oil. And I had a come apart, like a real one. And but he did show me how to do it. But like, I thought I was gonna die, because I was like, I don't even want to think that I know how to change oil. But now I'm grateful though, because I could be in a mess up situation and be able to.
Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. My friend, she was going through that, and I was like,
yeah, what you said. He said,
like, you're a big dog. You can handle everything. And so it was very tough for her. And I said, well, you just got to learn you got to unlearn a lot of things, boo. And I said, you have to ask for help, or the man has to, and and you know, you got to choose some masculine men.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That helps
I
too.
mean, but I prefer for the man to do it. Like, I think my dad was just showing me if I was ever in a situation where there was nobody around. I don't think he was showing me so that I could be like, I can do this better than a man. You get what I'm saying? Or I don't need a man. That's what I could do this stuff myself. No, I don't. I would hope that that's not why he did that, but no, he didn't. He didn't do that for that. He just was like, if I'm never around, or you can't get a hold to your brothers, or you can't get a hold to another man, you will not be screwed. You won't be stranded. So that was probably the
Mhm. And this guy that I follow online, the friend that I talk to often, he always emphasizes on a lot of lives. He said a lot of you men out here just talk about how you're gonna live and this and that. He said, I don't hear nobody ever talking about contingencies, making plans, the plan A, B, C, D, getting the family ready to do this. And
yeah.
I break my leg for 6 months. Okay, I got 6 months of rent saved up. So it's like a lot of men, they're still learning how to be men, but now you got to go above and beyond. We got to do the planning and all this stuff,
Right?
The layout and everything, and the contingencies and all the passing of this and what this. And I'm like, yeah, that's called vision, and we need more vision, but wise men that are capable men that can show the men that reputable, trustworthy guys, and submitted to God. Like, we will be the total arsenal, the total package out here.
Right. And I believe that. I think that even, like, for instance, if I was to get married and I didn't know how to change a tire, I would like for my husband to at least show me how to change the tire, because he may not be around all the time, right? Or there might, right? And so that's a part of a contingency plan, is to show me how to be able to survive if something happened to you. What is this house going to function like if you are disabled for a moment? You know what I mean? So yeah, that guy is right. And I do think, don't want you in a position to deal with a stranger. See? And that's true, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, because anything could have happened with that person that pulled over to help, right? But, thank God it didn't, but it still could have. So I do believe you're right. I think that women, we already have the answer. The thing is that we don't want the answer, and we don't want to have to admit that we need to change. So, there's that discussion about submission, right? The submission discussion.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to give my answer because I had to leave that day. So I kind of want to touch on that, because there's this misconception that it's in women's nature to be submissive. Okay. But according to the word of God, God had to command her to be ruled by her husband. So it's not in women's nature to submit to anything, because if that was the case, she would have submitted to what the word of God said when he said not to eat the fruit off of that tree. She was able to be convinced that it would be wise of her, and she would be wiser, and she'd be wiser as God to eat that fruit. So much so that she didn't get just one piece of fruit, she got several pieces. And then she was like, well, since I'm not getting any wiser, hey, can you try it, Adam, and see. The thing that bothers me the most, though, is that Adam was standing right there. Right? He was standing right there. But at the end of the day, it is not in women's nature to submit. She had to be told she is going to be ruled by her husband. Okay. So
it's a lot. And she got more than that too.
Right. A part of our fleshly and sinly nature is to try to rule or try to run things. It's not in our nature to be submissive. You know what? Here's the truth. The reason why we fall for the aces and the liars is because we fell for the same type of lie in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Because we want to be made wise. We hearken our ears to deceivers. It's easier for us to listen to a deceiver than we are to listen to the truth. And that started back in the garden.
But okay, Now let's run a test. Now, does it sound nicer for somebody to say, "Oh, girl, you're a 10 and you're 300 pounds," or "Girl, you need to sit something down with your sloppy 300-pound self"? Like, you're gonna be like, "Well, I'm going over here because they see me."
It's the same way, right? It's the same, but it's the same type of lie. What did Satan say? God did not say that you would really die,
Really
did
does.
he? Right? Like, no, he didn't tell you that
Maybe
you would be
not
wise when you
directly.
do that. Right.
Yeah.
So our ear is easier tuned to a deceiver. God told her, do not eat that. Not just her, he told Adam. So she knew. She even told him, God told us not to eat that. She told Satan. Right?
Right.
That means that a woman she knows right from wrong, because just like you know that man lying to you. You know you 300 pounds and you need to lose weight. You know you don't even like looking in the mirror at your own
I
self.
know, because
You
I've
know
been there
that, right?
long ago.
But
I'm still almost there. I'm still on scale, but you're absolutely right. But the thing is, I kind of give a little grace, only because we
I
have
don't
to
want
have
grace.
compassion, because we
Who
are
said
born. That's just me. Because we have
Okay.
to have compassion, because we are all in a fallen world, and we're in a fallen sin state. And if you have not accepted Christ, you're still in the sleep. You're still plugged into that lie that you curate your own life and things like that. Like, you're still plugged in until the light comes in and shines in, until we come in with the truth, or till God comes or sends somebody. And so
The grace is the truth, though. Like, look at how the grace is the truth. Tony told the truth, right? It wasn't nice. People be in his comments all the time like, Tony, you're very harsh. Tony, but what do you want me to do? You want me to make it sound pretty? There's nothing pretty about the truth, right? There's nothing pretty about the truth.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm still gonna say it, but I will say it to them. And that's, like you said, even if I did have to speak in parables because it went over your head, I still can break it down. I still have enough flow in the spirit that I can break it down to you using trees.
That's like I said, right? The guy with the tight pants, he didn't have friends. You can't have friends if they let you walk out the house looking like that. Even the show host wasn't nice to you, because if I was the show host, I would have said, "Hey, bruh, look, come here. Them pants, we not putting you out there like that." Right? But that's because that's the grace and the compassion I would have. I'd be like, nah, I want you to really find somebody. Them pants, we got to find, can somebody go get him some pants? But that's the mindset. But there's people that capitalize on people on these shows looking stupid, and so they're gonna let them go on there with them tight pants that, you know, if you sat down, it's gonna rip in the crack. It's gonna rip.
But how am I supposed to come and tell you not to, that you made a bad purchase with your money? That was his money that he made a conscious purchase with. Now, when he discovers that the pants were too tight, now I can school you, because now I don't want your advice then, because I think I'm fly. And then, so when it works against me,
listen, I'm gonna tell him the truth, because ain't nobody else gonna tell him, obviously, because he ain't got no friends. That's like if I knew he had a booger in his nose before we started to hit record on the button, right? I would be like, hey, come here, and I'll whisper, bruh, you got to go to the bathroom. You don't feel that in your nose? It's right there. you don't feel that.
But a booger is different than a pants. Okay?
All of it matters. That's like
no. Sometimes you have to get hit with reality. Now, the thing is, you thought them pants were it, but what did Maurice say? He said, results say that was a lie.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell them.
So even if they split on you, or if they were just too tight, or if you're really uncomfortable, then you have to come to the self-realization, like, oh my God, like, because the prodigal son, nobody could tell him nothing. He took what he wanted. His own father could not even stop him.
That's not the same thing, though.
It's the exact same thing, because he felt that I'm about to do this thing. I'm getting ready to leave and live my life. And when he had to come to the slop of his realization, like, I don't
We're
even
talking
belong.
about pants that were too tight. Maybe
It's
he
the
needed
same.
somebody to
It's
tell
called
him.
awareness. It's awareness.
Yeah, nah,
Some
I wouldn't let him on the
awareness
show.
come this way. Some awareness is accepted. Some awareness is accepted when you fall on your face or your pants split.
Yeah, nah. I'm gonna just take the L as like I'm gonna just be that friend. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I expect for you to tell me the truth, and then if
Jamie
you
is a
get
great
offended,
friend.
if you get if you get
That's
offended
what Stanley said.
and you stop talking to me, that's fine because I know that I told you the truth. If I had a friend and she was a liar, she just lied. You know what I'm saying? She looked me in the eyes and lied, not one time but 3 times. You feel me? I was like, bro, you lie, like real lie for real. And so she said, you know, are you upset? I said, yeah, because you was a whole liar. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't deter from the fact that we had great times, but I can't never trust you because you have the ability to tell real stories. And so good that I believed them. If I wouldn't have heard the other part of the story, you feel me? I would have continued to think that she was telling the truth. But I had to confront her and be like, nah, you a liar in real life. Like, you need help.
Right.
Right? Okay, but another person would have said, I'm just gonna stop talking to him because they need to figure out that they're a liar. No, my job is if I identify you got an issue, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it whether I known you for 1 week or 5 years. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say it because I might be the only person that ever tells you, and somebody need to tell you, and that it's gonna just happen to be me. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna walk away. And I'm gonna pray that one day if I needed you to tell me something, you tell me. But if you
but
don't,
you know what the thing is, sometimes it's not about having to say something all the time. So it's every situation, the answer has to be curated for that season, that moment.
that ain't my job role.
You just made it your job and said you gonna go over here and talk about somebody direct. It ain't your job. You just said what you gonna say. And
no, I'm saying my job role is not to not say it. I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Like people, and there's certain people that like that are great.
I said you do say it. I'm saying how it is done in that specific scenario can be different ways.
So I should write a note. You think I should write a note? Should
you
I
can
say
write notes, you can write text, you can take a person shopping, you could do so many things. Even if the pants were daggone tight, you know what, brother, I want to bless you. And let's go over here taking whatever.
Nah, I'm gonna tell them
say, I want you to go to my custom tailor because if it afflicted you so bad, go ahead and treat that person to something that you would like.
No, I mean I would have got him some new pants. I wouldn't have let him on.
No. Don't get them no new pants. Let them have a custom pants so that it can fit them properly all across the board. That's how you do it.
Nah, he was too chunky.
See now you got conditions. Get out of here. I'm done. What's that mean? Cut the show. Turn it off.
The waist wasn't wasting. Okay, so
she ain't a good friend, Stanley. You heard that? The waist wasn't.
I would have said it. I would have told him. I said, bro, like skinny jeans are not for you. We need to figure this out. Come here. I wouldn't have said it in front of nobody, but I would have took him like.
Everybody has goals. Everybody has skinny jean goals. I have had to pull back on my skinny jean goals.
Lord help her. Help her, Lord. Do you got another video? I thought we had one more. Do we got one more? Or we got
no, that was it. That was it. So I know you got to go. That was it. Just basically, just people, keeping you in bondage, keeping you a repeat customer, than actually helping you heal and be transformed.
I think people, but I do believe people like being led to the slaughter. And that's my personal opinion. That's why I have a brick wall behind me. The brick wall is I'm going to use that wherever I go at this point, because I have come to the realization that people like to be deceived.
Mhm. I
And
don't
then,
think
and
people like being deceived. I
yes, they
just
do.
think that
Yes, they do. They choose to believe liars over people that tell the truth. When somebody comes out and tells the truth, they attack the person that tells the truth versus the person that's telling the sweet lie. They like to be deceived. Even if you show receipts about the truth, they still want to believe the lie. And that started way back, right? It started way back. It started in the garden, because these seeds came from a woman who enjoyed being deceived because she wanted to be made wise. It's the illusion that getting this knowledge or going to these platforms and listening to these people is making them more wise. See, because they do give a little truth, right? But there's a little truth, there's a lot of truth, but the lie is that you're just good the way you are, right? You don't have to do any self-improvement. So they may be telling the truth in some aspect about the way that this thought or how they're being treated is wrong, and that may be true. But the lie is that you are just you're good the way you are, and that's not true. That's not the way God works either, because you're constantly changing and being evolved, and he's constantly breaking you down and building you back. He's constantly renewing your mind and making you better, right? And so these people that have these platforms that give them a little truth, make them think that they're changing a little bit, but they're also they're consoling and consolidating the lie that you are good just the way you are. And that's not true. If that was the case, you wouldn't need a savior.
Absolutely.
Right? So yeah, no, people like to be deceived. They like the lie. And that's why this brick wall right here, hold on, because my little finger's disappearing because it's one of them green screens, but that brick wall right there.
That is a lie. That brick wall is a lie.
You see? But it is disheartening though. Like, I do believe that platforms like this should continue. Platforms that I've been on, panels and stuff like that, should continue, because there's a remnant of people that do need to hear this, right? So that they're not discouraged, so that they can find their mate. But if we look at the Bible and we live in reality, Revelation says that there's going to be a great falling away. So this deception is written about.
Right.
We can't be confused. We just have to know our role in bringing in the people that don't want to be confused anymore.
Absolutely. And willing to lose everything on it.
Yeah.
And not be, ashamed.
Right.
And that's the other part, because as we said, people were driven by monetary gain. So if I do tell you the truth, I don't have any repeat customers. I don't, and I get to keep you around, and that's not right. It really isn't.
You're right about the no repeat customers, because that's to me, that's a problem that I have, because like once I work with you, I really don't want you to come back, but then it's not beneficial for me for you not to come back, because I have a business, right? But it doesn't matter about business, it matters about your soul.
Yeah. Right? At this point in time, it's totally different. The agenda is different. It's like, we don't have time. So it's like, it was good while it lasted, world.
Yeah. It's hard when you actually help people become better and they don't, you know what I'm saying? It's hard when that's the thing, because you don't have repeat customers, because they go off and they live life according to the word of God, and which is what they're supposed to do. He just told me that so I just sent him my information.
Oh yes. Well, you have to go. It's so fun.
Is it?
I did with them one night. I probably did. Yeah, I think I might have showed up a little bit, but I just didn't want to show. He was like, you gotta be on. So I just be all over the place. And sometimes I'll be sleeping. But I just do so much. Stanley's pretty good. He tries to have good conversation. And sometimes he be having a delusional woman aboard. He like,
yeah,
his eyes always be. It'd be funny, but
saved. You know, what did J. Cole say? Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You know, that like, you know.
A few times. Okay. Yeah, I know
Mhm.
an intellectual probably was doing everything. I'd be peeking in everywhere. I'm like, what they saying over here? Oh, what's the stats now? Okay. Oh, they still bitter over here. Oh, what's that new movement?
Oh yeah,
And
you
then-
had good news. You had good news before we leave. You had good news about the stats. What are the stats saying?
oh yes, darling. The stats, which I'm really happy about. Oh man, the stats are. Let me see. Good. Okay, good. The stats are for Black men that last quarter. Hold on, let me make sure my wig's on right.
Stop.
Let me make sure my wig's on right. Is that Black
Oh, okay.
men are doing better financially than what Black women have been previous stats have been trying to portray. That
Mhm.
last quarter in 2024, that Black men are making money up there with the under their white counterparts and above white women and above, Latino. And I'm like, oh
Mm.
my God. And the Black woman, we down there. But as opposed to what was said before, that Black women were outperforming Black men, that is
Mhm.
changing. And I'm like, wow, I'm really excited that, Black men, they're putting their face down and they're actually
These are straight Black men,
rising
right?
up. Huh?
These are straight Black men, right?
Well, why are you gonna have to throw it? Well, okay, let's hopefully it's all straight Black men.
I just wanted to make sure because just
Yeah, and I really like it because I see it's not, I think for Black men to really, have a footing, it's not so much at a 9 to 5. A lot of people are doing trade, they're running their own businesses, and they're learning how to use the stock market,
yeah,
to get
yeah.
stuff. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, and that's valuable. There are
Right.
tradesmen out there. That's valuable. These are transferable skills that we can teach our boys and have generational prosperity for at least for our family and in our communities. And then if we have communities, then we can have grow up with one another and have those like, oh, I know
Yeah.
Jimmy has come from good stock. He has a good family.
So we could start. So we could start. What do you call that? Arranged marriages again, right?
University. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it at this point, shoot, because that's how they did it. The mergers of them families and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It was like good, but at least growing them up around each other. It would be nice. I
Yeah.
really think it would be, but
I think
that's
that's
just like
good.
a far dream. But at least I can see that the men there are putting their heads down and taking a lead. And it's tough out here for both of us as men and
Mhm.
women. But if we do make the conscious efforts, and I follow the B University Charm School, he was giving it to us like raw and real, and how reality is, and and it's not easy and it's not fair sometimes. But if we make those conscious efforts and better decisions, being better women, better men, it's just better for everyone. It
Right.
really is. And having God at the
Okay.
head of all of it,
Right.
in the center of it, and the foundation of it. It's not just the head. You got to be in the middle and the bottom and
Right.
around.
All of it. We're not gonna make it out here. So
No.
wait. So what was there not? There was another stat though, right? They like now their money is where the white man doesn't have their foot on his neck, right? So we'll say that way. He don't got his foot on his neck no more.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Good point.
Because that's uplifting too. Because I think that
Mhm.
the inadequacy felt just by that alone is enough to mess with somebody's mental, which is not fair, right? So I think that that's definitely a blessing to even hear, to read, to understand that that's happening. Was there not another one though? I thought there was one other one. Did you have another stat?
I don't know. I just thought that was no. I don't know.
Okay,
What
okay.
was
I just didn't know. I didn't know. I was like, do we have another one? We have another report.
you understand? No, it's just that men, they're really doing a thing out here, and that
I can't wait till they just start curving hoes. I'm excited for that moment when that happened. I'm gonna be like the
it's gonna
football,
be
like,
hard.
huh?
Ah! I mean, it's
you know,
gonna be
like
hard,
I'm
you
talking
know.
about. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
What
Like
do
no,
you
for
mean,
real.
girls are just become husbands or what? What does
That
that mean?
all of that, all in the same. It starts off with the curve, though. It starts off with the You know what I'm saying? Nope. Nope. Mm-mm. You know, it starts off with that. When that happens, you know, them getting married and seeing the value in marriage, that's gonna happen. That's gonna eventually happen too. But it's the curve first. That curve. When they do that, I'm be like, you know what? I'm so proud. Like the standard. I mean, see, I'm a boy mom, so that's why I get excited to see like boys having a standard, like men having a standard, because they have value. So why would you not have a standard of how you want to be approached, how you want to be treated, what that looks like? No, just because you're cute, you know what I'm saying? Just because you got a nice body, you know what I'm like the curve. I cannot wait.
I
Like,
mean, it's good to have it's good to have standards too, but I really like more than that, I really want my sons to have that masculinity more than anything.
yeah, that
You know what
includes
I'm saying?
standard. That includes the
And,
standard. The
but the
standard.
thing is, it's only comes from what a man can give, and
It's hard to
in all
curb
honesty. So,
304s. They make sex too easily accessible until we obtain discipline. It's tough. See, Stanley, it is tough, but I just can't wait. Like I'm
but you're not
excited.
a man. This is what I told you, girl. You, and this is what Nate said. He said we're not men, so we can't understand it. But all we can do is pray.
I get it, but I'm excited because it's going to happen. I want men so sick of it. I want them so because all they got to do is they got to be tired. They just because when a man's tired, he know how to ignore you. He know how to text you back. He know how to. I want them to be so tired, so sick of this. Like you know what I'm talking about? Like that I'm just disgusted when they get. Oh, I'm so excited because it's happening. Because I'm sick of it. So if I'm sick of it, they gonna get tired too. I pray y'all get tired. Please get tired. Please get tired and be like,
No,
I
I'm
am.
gonna tell you, either you know this, and I know that everybody ain't gonna be saved. So, therefore, those that latch on, please, the good quality ones, latch on. But those are not things that I worry about, because as long as that man puts his confidence in God and had really good rearing and good accountable instructional men around them, I think they'll be good, because there's just some things that men can't discuss with us that they have to talk over there. There's just some things I know that I can't even discuss with my son, and I just be like, man, something needs to happen. Like I need some male interaction over here, because I just don't have it. Like I can feel the transition of it. Like I just know that it's there, and I'm like, man, well, hopefully it comes together.
It will happen.
And they're turning around. Like I was saying that I would hope that the way that the men are changing their lives around to become, better for themselves. And if they invite women into their lives and be good providers for their families, I'm hoping that the women would do the same as far as their femininity and attending to that, so that.
But it's our job. I think it's our job. Like it's our job to create either programs or environments to train these young ladies. And I'm just being honest, because like I said, my son was having a conversation in his high school, and these young girls are excited with drama. Like they want a man that brings drama, right? So obviously either they're seeing it at home or they're watching it on TV. The parent might not even know that they feel that way. You know what I'm saying? But we got to create
Yeah,
These
sometimes parents don't have conversations with it.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know that their child likes drama. They don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You don't find that out until they can't find a spouse. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Or they get in relationships and they get out, or it's always something going on. So I do believe that we do have to create spaces for young women as women to say, hey, this is because look at I talked about what's her name? What's her name?
Sure.
What's her name? Sprinkle. And she caught on because she talked to young women. It was a lot of young women who she influenced to be like that. Do you see what I'm saying? And so the young women are looking for role models and advice. They just are latching on to what can get them the bag or what they can get the money or the attention, right? Because that's what
they're latching on to witchcraft. I don't know why we can't even say what it is. She is esoteric.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. She has a store and it has dark stuff in there. And
she got what kind of store? Online store?
Yeah.
Oh.
Very.
Yeah, I ain't reaching out to her then. I was going to have her.
That's why I'm trying to tell you.
I was going to interview her just to be fun, but I don't want none of that. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Girl.
But see,
when I came, when I was on the market fresh, right? Just like, oh my goodness, I need information. I don't know. Okay, I'm bored. I don't know what. Okay, how do you date a nice guy? Because I've been married. So I was like, I don't have to worry about none of that mess. And I'm like, okay, cool. She said, well, you gotta, make sure, he does this and make sure he does this and this and that. Hey, and hey, girl. And I'm like, okay. And then when she's like, oh, I said, why does she have skulls in the back? So I'm like, okay, me, I'm already symbolism. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's an information sounds all right. And then I'm looking down at her description. And then it says, I forgot the name of her store, but it had like potions and things like that. I was like, no, this is not good. This is manipulation. And a lot of women are following this manipulative witchcraft. And you wonder why you can't get a man, because God is not going to bless witchcraft.
Oh no, they getting men. They using what she sell. Those girls are getting men. You seen the one that married the dude that supposedly messed with the child situation. Look, I'm going on here now. I didn't know she did that. Now I'm about to be nosy. But you're gonna have me up later than I need to be up.
I pay attention to a lot of things. And even if it sounds good, like you said, you have to wait till a person talks and reveals himself. And it will happen. And you'll be like, man, I can't. I said, wow, I gotta start the White School podcast, because you can't start a relationship in that manner just because you're not getting the results you want. That means you gotta try to become a better person and seek what's right for you, and not use this dark manipulative tools, because you might be opening a door you can't close.
So I've only seen the background. See, now you got me looking. The reason why I didn't know that is I've only seen the background in her bedroom where where it's white. And so like I didn't realize she used other backgrounds.
I've been on and off on her.
Oh shoot.
Years. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
When I came to the realization of it, I was like, nah, this ain't it. But she
got a whole the little glass ball thingamajigger. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little she got a whole wait a minute, ain't no way.
If you brought like if people were in her chat, if they said, well, if they mentioned Jesus, well, some people, they don't believe in all those things, and you can, I don't subscribe. And so like I was like, nah, this is not good. And her audience has recently grown. and it's just going to contribute to the falling away, and then people getting into stuff that they really shouldn't, and then they're playing all these men, and you know what I'm saying, instead of just being a good woman and
I
developing
think it says Dark Realm Etsy store.
yeah. And this is yeah.
I am flabbergasted.
Mhm.
That has like, I am taken aback.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's deep. But okay. Is it true? Did the man do it or the son do it? How did the story pan out? Any of the, you know what? That story disappeared. You know,
What
it like
what happened?
some lady that followed Shira 7 had her own platform where she was teaching girls the
Oh
same
yeah,
thing.
Miss Isis, the real Isis.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
That thing disappeared. I don't believe he did it. Like, I just don't believe that he did it, because from my understanding, he was trying to leave her anyways,
Mm.
and then this happened. From my understanding, when I listened to the last person that reviewed it, it was her son that was the perpetrator.
That's so sad.
It is sad. It is sad. So, since it's disappeared, I would assume that maybe it really was, her child. That
Yeah, some people like that's just another ace metaphor type of situation. And even the Billy Carson, all these people like just out here just saying stuff.
it's
God's
just great
tired
that you put
of
that
it.
in there.
So tired of this mess and deceiving his people. And
Mhm.
yet they go up the bed crying every night. Like, how do I get
Mhm.
out of the situation? He has to dismantle all these things in order for the truth to come through. So we got to stay vigilant in season, out of season, when they want to hear, when they don't want to hear. Because eventually, like Tony said, when I told you not to go over there, now you coming crawling back.
Yeah. But I think what the problem is that people aren't in position. Like, I feel like the platforms that are giving the appropriate information, we really aren't supporting each other the way we should. So, like, just like they have a network where they support their rhetoric, we need to come together and network together and push one another so that it can get out there and we can take over the algorithm and the narrative can change. But if we're not supporting each other, I'm throwing this out here because I want everybody to hear this, because I think that is a huge issue that we have, is because Satan is always so much more organized than
Oh,
people that push what the Lord is supposed to, than kingdom. That's why the church is so confused, right? Satan is organized. Those people aligned with each other because they had a mission. They wanted to get that money. They saw the niche. The niche was pushing. The niche was making them money, right? And when the money was good, everything was good. But they support each other. They put each other on platforms. They encourage each other. That's why I'm here. I'm glad I caught y'all. I'm glad you right. I'm glad you did too. But see how, like, if we were to do that for each other and then just team up and create the same type of ambiance, it would be insane how quickly we could take over the algorithm with the correct agenda.
Yes, you have to, because like you can have a whole bunch of church folks like sitting in the room, but half of them ain't even there.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
And
I
it's
mean,
like it's hard. You can't even admit, well, a woman can't even talk. See, now I can't even talk. But
you know what? Too
God
petty.
is trying to deliver that. God's trying to deliver that medicine right now. You got to listen, and then your time will come. But if we don't feel like we're robbing one, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to usurp. I ain't trying to usurp nothing over you. Okay, I can't even usurp over myself. I'm so lazy. But
the crazy thing is that they don't have that problem in the dysfunctional kingdom. Like, they don't have the problem with like letting the female talk, because it still pushes the agenda that they want pushed, right? So we have to get out of our own way and really have each other's back, because it's not easy to do that, but it can be done.
Yes, absolutely. It can be done. I pray that it is done. I'm getting me this new book. I'm excited. It's about praying and fasting, and I'm just in my books, just really just trying to reinforce like conversion scriptures and like all those things, so that I know how to talk, how to deliver, how to be open and available during this time, and really hear God, sometimes, and not to speak out of turn. Maybe it's your turn to talk for the next hour, and I had to sit back and say, girl, amen, or let's break down this part. You're like, yes. And then like it's just moving that way. We should be walking on water at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to though, because I'm not even trying to test the Lord like that. It's not that serious for me.
I mean, we don't test, but it's like he said we doing greater works since he was gone away. So it's like it's not that. That's how we supposed to be, so undeniable. But it's probably not that time yet. But that's how we are supposed to be.
But we got to be prepared, and people are not being prepared because they're just not having their heads down and doing the work. And then when they are when they meet each other, we're supposed to go, okay, God, how am I supposed to sow into this ministry? How am I supposed to support this person? What is my role? Because I met them for a reason, right? Absolutely. What is my role in this season? And then you move accordingly. And then we create a beautiful network the same way but we're not being opportunistic with each other. We're being mission driven by pushing Christ.
Family, and he's gonna invite you, and it's gonna spread like
right. So it just starts off like that. It starts off, but we've got to stay focused. Mm-hmm. We can't be discouraged. We can't really listen to their rhetoric. We have to be in tune, because you have to be as wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove, right? You got to know the enemy's tactics, but you also got to be able to execute the plan and not be distracted. But I think that as believers, we do get distracted. We get distracted because we're like, we know what we're saying is right. Why is it not moving? Well, because it's right.
Yeah, well, it's not that. It's just, don't discount that. Our words are not big. There's a lot of stuff out here. There's the Prince of Persia. There's demonic opposition. There's principalities over here. It's so much. There's a monitor spirits of making sure that you don't even get the sleepy demon when you read your Bible. Like it's more than just that. It's so much that we cannot see that is going on, that we don't have enough time to be, wasting. We, like you said, we got to get prepared. It's not just being a Christian. We are in the army. We are enlisted. We are enrolled now. We ain't on milk anymore. We got to get that meat, and we got to fight. We got to take up our armor. God's talking about armor. There's a lot of things, like you said, we're not being prepared to do. We should not be over here whining and crying about these relationships. First of all, we need to be, if we ain't going to be in one, we're supposed to be dedicated to God. Right. And if he blesses us to meet with another powerful man or woman of God, now we can come together, put 10,000 a flight. So it's like he don't want that to come together, because it's gonna, like you said, it's gonna start dismantling things in the spirit, because we see the dysfunction here and we try to fix it here. But we have to pray to fix it in the spiritual realm, so it manifests in the natural realm. We try to fix it in the natural realm mostly, so that it'll do spiritual, but it's reverse. The devil know that you got to break things in the spirit in order for it to manifest in the natural, and to make you violate. So now when you violate that thing that God said, not the spiritual thing, now he has free reign to come in and do what he do and wreak that havoc. And that's what needs to be taught. And it's not the manipulation and get them to pay on your first date and bill. No. You see what I'm saying? And even that lady's associated with dark arts. Even she knows that.
Who? Which one?
The Shira.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I just learned that. I didn't know. Mm-hmm. But she, even if she wasn't, she was already doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be. Like, for instance, you don't necessarily start off in witchcraft. You start off in rebellion, right? So she was already there, rebellion. But that's just interesting. I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm. She had to decenter God in order to actually live and do the things that she does. A lot of us, that's the culture now, that if you have to decenter God in order to do wickedness and evilness, you have to. You cannot be comfortable and say, "Oh, well," you can't. It's not going to happen. Like you said, you're going to run from the truth.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. All right, you got me. You got me. It's midnight, but I
All
gotta
right.
go.
Haha.
You got me. You got
All
me.
right. Well, that was good. We needed to stay on this long because Stanley obviously came in the last 10 minutes.
No, oh no.
And that was for purpose for that. So
Right.
I'm thankful and grateful for you guys' connection, and hopefully it just grows and turns to something else, because you ain't mine. You belong to God. You gotta do what he said do,
Oh yeah, all
Go
day,
you get
every
one.
day. I think if you just look at it as teamwork,
Mhm.
makes the dream work, right? At the end of the day, there needs to be a kingdom minded network, right?
Absolutely.
Legitimately, definitely pushing the order and government of the true and living God, of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. I just want to make sure I say that, because everybody thinks that they serve God, but it don't be Jacob and Abraham's God. So I just want to say that out loud, so that we have a clear understanding of what God I'm talking about. But that's it. I think that's it. That's my closing. We do have the answer. The answer is in the Bible. Submission is not natural to women, and so that narrative needs to stop, because it's not true. I have to be renewed in my mind to understand what submission is. So
Mhm.
submission starts with, can you submit to Christ? If you don't know what that looks like, you really ain't gonna submit to your husband.
If you don't know, you're probably not doing it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's my closing. Is like, we got to start there. We definitely got to start there. It's hard. It's hard to submit your will and your life to what Christ wants for you, because sometimes you don't know what that looks like. And as people, we want to know what it looks like. That's why we create idols. That's why we listen to deceitfulness, because we can see the deceit. This deceit looks good in the moment, but it's not good for us, right? The fruit looks good, but it tastes bitter. This, and I don't like bitter fruit. That's bad. That's bad tasting. Now you can tell I'm tired, about to say crazy stuff. I'm about to go to bed, y'all. I gotta go to sleep.
Y'all.
I gotta go to bed. I do not. 8:30 is my bedtime. That's enough.
I am sorry I kept you so long, but
Okay.
it was good.
It was good.
Some points to get out, some points to chop up, definitely deeper issues. It's not just, the fluffy, like, oh my God, yes, take me to the king. Like, no, it's, getting down and dirty and really getting in the mud with people, and bringing them out. You gotta bring them out, and it's not an easy thing. Jesus was always walking somewhere and doing signs, wonders, and miracles. He wasn't just sitting down and everybody was just gathering around him. Like, he was always working, and it's not easy. And people are gonna hate on you and say, "Oh, you're doing this by Beelzebub and the devil." You're like, did you not see somebody's eyes open? They change and transform. You're not even happy about that, okay?
No.
So if they wasn't even happy for him, trust and believe you ain't no greater than him. Right. It's gonna come for you. And because we're his disciple and we're having his mind and his likeness. So the enemy is he's highly aware of that. He's highly organized. He's highly watching this. He's highly listening tonight. But that's okay, because greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And I'm just thankful that you had time to share with me tonight. And I can't wait till, God just, has that revival, and that will be in place for it. That's all.
Yeah. I completely agree. This was phenomenal. We could do it again, but it's going to be a little bit, because it's going to take me a lot to recruit from this, because I do not.
She'll be back in April.
Oh my God. I'm really going to be at 8:30. For real. There's nothing past 8:30 that I need to know. That's what I'm saying.
Like, this was your passion. See, like, you could talk on things that you're knowledgeable and that you love and you're passionate about. you will not be able to stop. I see if we don't stop right now, you will keep going because you're tired. You're gonna
Yeah, but I got a lot to say, right? So let me just go to bed. That's what- Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Thank y'all for listening. Are you staying on? Are you gonna stay on? I could just leave. What do you want me to do?
Oh, you can leave, sis. I'm gonna tune into another show called Some Trouble Over Here.
Okay.
See, I'll go to sleep. Like on my days off, this is my day off. This is the time I like. I'm trying to make more content and engage with other platforms. Because I'm usually up at night at work anyway, from 11 to 7. But
Okay.
this was important. I wanted to make more real content, the root digging content,
Right.
not the fluffy. Oh, what do you think? It's hard to have a sword and God's given to you to tear down and break up and all this stuff, and you be like, you just sitting there like, I'm sick of this milk stuff.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. So this was good. We actually on here for 3 hours,
Yeah.
24 minutes. Right. And I mean, I could keep going actually. Like I haven't pulled out no notebooks. And that was basically we talked with no notebooks, but I got notebooks
from the
all
heart.
around me. Right. So this was good. We'll do it again, but I'm really have to schedule this differently.
I mean, maybe it's different because like when we did our pre-recorded, it was like, okay, boom. But this one is live. And so now you're getting other people engaging into the conversation. You're like, yes. So what did he say? And so it's like, it's different. It's like real time and,
Right.
it's a different feel. But, I enjoyed it. So this is good. We were supposed to do this based on the other. But I'm excited.
I'm gonna reach out to you. I got something that I know you're gonna want to get on, but I can't say it on here because I gotta. I'll know tomorrow. I'm gonna message you now, though. I'm gonna tell you what happened based off of your interview. Somebody reached out to me, and I was like, "Ain't no way," but I'm message you.
All right,
because I think you're gonna want to hop on. Because I was like, they have somebody that does that, So, anyways, all right. Bye, y'all.
All right, bye, guys. Have a great night. I thank you for being here, the little people that rock with me, and I'm gonna try to come on and do more content so that we can really dive deep because we got some really, really, really deep set of issues that only God can help us with. Because I give it all to God, and He helps me. Try to live right. It is hard. It's hard to submit, even in that, even in the prayer, even in like getting into, the word, like so people, my godfather, he used to pray for like 8 hours. I'm like, how you do that? But his love and devotion for God helped him. But that was his secret prayer life. That's in his prayer cloud. But when he came out empowered, he can pray. People's cancer's gone. Healings, and it's like, wow. But that's spending time with God. And a lot of us, it's just the simple things, and we don't know, we're not aware of it because nobody's teaching us, and all of it is in the word. It really is. It's all in the word. I mean, we got our Bibles on our phones, but it's all in the word. If we just take our time, spend our time with him, and not be deceived by all these people that just want our money, and sometimes these leaders aren't right either because they're not spending time in the word, and that's why they're getting caught up in scandals and things like that. You got to be prepared and always ready all the time. So I thank you guys for just sitting here rocking with me. TikTok, I know I don't go live often, but thank you for your support and all the little hearts. Hopefully I can do more content like this and get my little confidence up because I am still a little nervous here and there. But I thank you for your support and love. And hopefully I'll see you soon and have a great and wonderful evening. Okay. And so I ended that on TikTok and I'm ending over here. So please have a good night and I love you.